Send it over to the afternoon show.
See ya. Hey guys, yeah, welcome in 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. That's turning into quite the way to wrap up the week here. Markets enjoying nice gains right across the board. If you joined us early on this morning in the pre-market, we were talking about Apple, obviously, but more so strength in tech, or the potential of strength in tech. Some cold water got poured on that, though, with the jobs number that came out. But what jobs number? It's fine. Everything's fine. 1.6% to the upside right now for the S&P 500. The Dow 1.37 it is. NASDAQ specifically, and tech right across the board that's been leading this move back to the upside, as we saw there with Meta. What a bounce off the lows all the way back to positive, and then some. Now 2% for the NASDAQ back to the upside. 1.5% for the TSX here in Toronto. Yeah, crude oil was up 4% at one point this afternoon. Having quite the day. Brazil 2%, 2% for Bitcoin. Huge move here for Ethereum. It's Ethereum this afternoon leading the way as far as crypto is concerned. That's the daily chart right now. Huge breakout back above that 1900 and change level right through to 1992. And then some. So nice look. If you drop this down even lower, you'll get a better picture of what's happening intraday today. So a nice look for Ethereum. That's an hourly chart, so we'll keep an eye on cryptocurrencies going forward anyways. 1.68 for the S&P 500. Individual names here standing out on the downside as far as earnings are concerned. BIO was one of those down here in the healthcare group. MTD, EPAM, and MPWR also reported downside about 10%. Everything else, it seems, right across the entire market, very, very positive at this point. It's been the banks all day long leading, continues to be that way. ZION up 20% right now. KeyCorp about 10% to the upside. CMA, TFC, USB among those putting in decent moves here. PayPal, pretty good move as well, 4% back in positive territory. Along with all of the insurance companies, industrials have been strong today. Down here, consumer discretionary names have been strong today. Just zooming in here on, where is it? Tesla. 5.3%, Randy, to the upside. Randy just sitting down beside me here. 3.9% for GM, Ford about 3% to the upside as well. Energy stocks doing quite nicely. Materials, consumer staples, and communication services. LYV, another earnings name there. So right across the entire market, if you remember, as I was saying, when we sat down this morning, it was all about the jobs report and what was going to come from that non-farm payrolls number that ended up being a huge miss to the upside, 245,000 versus about 180 they were expecting. So big miss to the upside. The market comes down off of that initially, but immediately gets the reversal almost back to the upside. It's been a little bit choppy depending on where you're looking. Individual names specifically, here's one of them, SMFL, Smart for Life, I think it is. Back to the upside, some positive news coming through from them. I was just looking at that. DraftKings moving around off earnings today. There's Cleveland Cliffs, CLF off of earnings today. If we go all the way back to the beginning of the pre-market this morning, guys, it was all about Apple and it was all about the NASDAQ, which continues to lead us higher here this afternoon.
One of these days, it'll be like the market's at the height of the day and only long. The only thing that's wrong with this is I'm not long Nvidia. Nvidia is, I mean, everything is going to the upside, destroying shorts. I mean, let's be real about it. Like Nvidia bottom to top is now from the open, $7, $8. I want to say like that's just absolutely screaming. Apple, you know, is already having a big day. Tesla went through that 170. We can start with Apple. Why not? Like Apple 170 break. It's actually approaching that 174-ish top. Is it really 420 is the high?
It doesn't have my positions. No.
It is 420 is the high. Yeah, so 174.20 is the high of the day on Apple. It was a good reload off of VWAP. Actually, it's not a reload because we missed out on the break. Never took the 171 break this morning, despite what we were talking about. I know we liked it. I just didn't want to take it at the open because I wasn't feeling it. Open breaks, but we got the VWAP dip. Strong. Look, the strong numbers with Apple was about the fact that everyone was so pessimistic when Qualcomm came through. So, you know, it wasn't even like it was the greatest quarter in the world, but when handset sales were fantastic for them with the iPhone, and Qualcomm was saying the otherwise for the market, that just meant Apple wins more. The rest of the report may be a little bit weak, even when you consider services and down the line. But It doesn't matter. This is the kind of day where even if it was down, it was probably catching a bid anyways. Literally everything has bounced. I mean, most things have bounced. I shouldn't say everything. I'm sure something's down there. And Apple, while barcoding here, you got a good 73 to 74 scalp. If it breaks a high, I could see 175 today.
Yeah, we're long Apple. So we actually, the number one stock profit-wise here today is going to be Apple. So we're going to ring the register on that one, despite, like Neil said, me completely missing the long 171. We talked about that, but just couldn't believe that it happened. And then there, boom, boom, again, down to the downside, a couple good shorts there. And I was just on with Max, and that's hilarious. Like, it just went up to 10 again. I was at 10. Like, just so stupid. Like, I was just, the market was blasting. I'm like, I'm going to get this. I was actually even debating canceling it there. And so now we're back into 174. But we're long Apple. I need to take a fill. Here, I'll take a fill on something so you can see all my positions here. So I don't know if I'm going to get in or out of it again. I'm going to punch long on Siri, then just punch out. So there you go. Now you can see my positions that will come through. Intel's the only short that we have on board. That's an absolute nothing burger. We have a very, very small piece on that one. It's really the meta position that you're going to see come through. Neil's like, he's not long Nvidia, but don't worry, guys. I am long right now on AMD. This name is right now $1.25 in the money and still making moves, man. This name was a disaster. Not a disaster, but we were short early, and look how wrong we were there. When it breaks that 200 period, we get out, and then AMD, boom, to the upside right there as it goes. But we're talking about Apple now, so let's just go over to what we have. We're long Apple again, and we just reloaded it right there. You know, we have some good trades. Again, that short, back into the long. I'm going to give this, I already have the target out if this does fail again down here at 173.50. So it sucks that we don't have one more out, but we took a little bit out there on the upside. We only have 40% left as we go 20, 40, 60, and we just missed that fill. I don't think Apple's a long, to be honest with you. I don't think we see 175 today regardless, because look at the NASDAQ. It's still bumping. And Apple, for some reason, I wish it goes there. I'm long. But, I mean, the way that I'm looking at this, the market is right now taking out highs, and Apple just dropped 30 cents. So, I mean, I'm happy about Meta, which is now $4 or $3.50 in the money and still going. That just touched out to 234.50 right there. So I'm debating just getting out of this if it drops back below 234. It looks like it may do that. Meta, really the winner for me here. We don't have Meta on the board, but this one, again, $3 in the money on Meta. We're pretty happy with it. Yeah, a couple red names today, and we'll talk about them when we go. But Apple, great long today. The market is definitely rewarding anybody that will get stuck with it. I'm glad we sold some shares yesterday in some of these other names. It looks like Apple might have been a mistake there. But Meta all the way back. That's to me what's been most impressive here this afternoon.
Pretty impressive for the NASDAQ in general. 2.07% to the upside now. 4.4%, by the way, for crude oil with 20 minutes or so to go here on the pit session over in Chicago. I was just watching this little nerve getting a little nervy, Randy? Anyway, Coinbase was on the list this morning as well. Just took out highs, bit of a pullback, but yeah, 17% to the upside here off earnings for Coin. Another one, pretty impressive.
Say so. It eventually broke out in a big way. Whoops, I don't want to knock over those bulls over there. They're still winning the day. Can't be doing that. Although we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how the day ends here. I mean, if like Apple doesn't break the high, who knows? Like, we're at that resistance on the NASDAQ, so anything can happen up here. But you have so many things that are screaming. The trend is what it is. I liked one level on Coinbase to short that wasn't 60. It was 56. You can see right here off the open, maybe zoomed in too far. The initial short off 56 was gold. Kind of almost could have been one and done, 55, 54 out, reloaded. It stopped out. I actually had an accidental long, just got out of Dodge. That pulled into VWAP, but it's been trend up ever since, right? So I kind of feel like when I'm shorting off a level and you get higher lows like this, I'm not really going at it that third time or just continuing to fight. Like, keep it clean, to accept the out. Stay cool with it. And maybe I should have reversed in the long on Coinbase. I really wasn't thinking the long. I liked a few other names, obviously, for the long trade, but it wouldn't have mattered. Like, whatever you pick, almost everything you pick today is pretty strong. I was corrected because I was like, yeah, just about everything is bouncing off the lows. Oh, I might have said everything is bouncing off the lows. So I corrected I didn't get correct myself. I was corrected. Block is most certainly not off the lows. Square, block, whatever you want to call it, it is it's dropping like a rock right now, and you
dropping
see
like a block.
Like a block? Yeah, why not? but it's ugly. This is a really bad look, and I don't know, can't really segue to anything else. Coin to block, doesn't really matter. I just kind of feel like there's a little connection there. But the NASDAQ's at the high of the day and pressing the high of the day. Initial move on block was to the upside off the earnings. They sold it. They sold the bounce off in the aftermarket. Then despite selling it off in the aftermarket, it gaps it back up in the pre-market, dumps, tries to rally with the market, cannot get past early resistance, dumps to the low as the market is screaming to the high. Like, that is about as bearish as you are going to see. Last I checked, that abjectly sucks. So this is a horrible response for Square, Block, whatever. And this could be, like, I could see if the market rolls over from here, I mean, like, sort of rolls over, like, in general, not necessarily this afternoon. Like, you see this 56 bottom, flat bottom, possible break. This is from the short seller report breakdown. That 58 level, which could be on the bid today, that was the higher low after the short seller report. That gets taken out. Block's in a world of hurt. So I just one to note for next week. I'm just coming in thinking shorts next week on Square or Block or whatever we're calling it these days.
Yeah, I think we're just calling it Block. All right, so I just bought some more Apple on this dip down. I was just looking at, again, I'm trying to look at the 5 minute as well here, but just because of the way this is moving, we have that 200 period right here. I mean, that sort of triggered this long right there. I'm going to try to use that as an out again. You got to have some outs somewhere, and if I pick the wrong level, I pick the wrong level, but I'm looking at 64 if we drop down below here. So I'm going to put this order in right now, 173.64. Let's go 63, and we'll get out of 100%. You know what I just did? 174, I just said, right? What an idiot. Okay, 173. I just got punched out of that trade. I just put 176. 173.63 is where we want to get out. So there you go. That's keystroke live on the air right there for you. But we got out, and then as soon as you get out, you just punch right back in. So net, it's going to look like we sold there, but didn't mean to. We're going to give it down to here. That's a 66. So we're going to give it a couple more pennies lower than that, break of that, and we're going to get out of Apple. We've made all of our money short on this name. We've made money here. I mean, this is the only longs that we've had, so it's been okay. But if it dips back down, I'd hate to lose long when we've been calling the short this whole time. So, let's just continue with that. And so far, so good. So Apple on a little bit of a reload there at 60 or 70. Let's see where it goes. My average price, of course, is going to be 77 now, but realistically, it should be a little bit lower. Let's wait to see what happens here with Apple. I'm looking at, again, anything back up here to 174, and we're going to try to drop some of that off. But, I don't have any trades today in Coinbase, and I don't have too much to say about it. Good quarter. Glad everybody's in that name and making some money if you are. So Coinbase, I always look for the short.
All right, just seeing some comments from JP Morgan on First Republic, talking about deposits being secure. They have access now. Customers have access now to the Chase banking network as well. So First Republic, obviously JP Morgan picking up pieces as we discussed earlier in the week. Meanwhile, this was the one we were discussing early on this morning. Here's PacWest up 83% on the day. If you zoom out a little bit, here's why. After just absolutely getting crushed yesterday on those WAL headlines, we're back to basically where this thing started, going back to Wednesday, or ended the day on Wednesday, guys. What a move back higher for PACW today.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning here that, well, first of all, I don't even know if we call it FRC anymore. Like, First Republic, isn't it just JP? Like, now all the branches are going to be JP.
I wonder what that's like for people that are there. If you know where First Republic is, I guess it's still the name, right?
Aren't they changing the names on all of them?
Did you hear about Bed Bath & Beyond? So Hudson's Bay bought them all up, and they're changing it to another, I forget what it's called, but it's very similar to Bed Bath & Beyond. And it's like a home, it's not Home Outfitters, but it's something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're turning everything over. So,
but there was the other, what was the other thing? It was, JP Morgan analysts were upgrading some of the regional banks this morning, which, considering what happened yesterday, I forget which two. It was like, it was three. It was Zion,
Williamson,
Western Alliance, and something else.
Oh,
it was three.
CMA, I think it was.
Yeah, CMA might be the third one. So it was three. Imagine after yesterday with that news and the rug and all that kind of stuff. That's a pretty bold move for them. So PacW has been strong. I had one trade early on wall looking for a rollover short, kind of recreate that magic from yesterday. Didn't work out, and PacW's been the jam to the long side.
Jam.
Like, it's actually had halts. Like, it recovered from 2 halts back to back down. Like, how often do you see that on a name where, you know, it's been getting rugged, but then it breaks 6, halts down again, and then a hold support, and it's just grinding higher. Like, this is, you know, it's actually pretty darn impressive if you're trying to be bullish on the name. I'm not in the long here. I know you had it. I know Max had it. And we were talking at length sort of about the opportunity involved here. I don't know if I see a trade for myself this afternoon, so we might not be there. I'm going to get to Carvana's at the end, but I'm going to get to it right now.
Did it break that level? Yes.
It's almost there.
Yes.
So like this stock, for 2 things. A, thank goodness, is all I have to say about that. But B, it just goes one time $9, and then this is the key to me. It's like when the stock wicks underneath a support level like that and then gives a consolidation higher, I generally like it, but it can't get past 940. I was trying to get the VWAP retrace, or it's not really a retrace because it's a VWAP, bounce to VWAP, I suppose. But it's a counter trend trade. And it might not hold here. So I still have a piece of this. If this breaks down, watch out. Carvana was like the rug pull of all rug pulls because that break at 11 was so, it was so gorgeous on the daily chart for a name with such a high short interest. You know, you're holding the 50 period, you're potentially breaking out. You had the earnings surprise on revs, and you know, ultimately, it rugged on that break. I was long into what looked like a halt at 11.19. I had my stop underneath at 11 even. So if it halted, I was long on the halt looking for an up print. And instead, it did the reversal. This is why, thank goodness, I had a stop order in. If I don't have a stop order in, I'm just praying I get out somewhere like 40 or 50 cents lower. So we got pretty fortunate with that one, but pay to be quick on the keys with that. I just wanted to cover it because I feel like it's going to break that low in the next minute or two.
It is.
So I don't want to wait till we actually eventually get to it next.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Larry Wanta? Yeah, sure. Send me all your trade details. Larry Wanta's going on vacation. He wants us to trade his account for him.
Where are you going, Larry?
Yeah, that's more important. Send us some pics where you're going there, and then we'll send you a picture of your account after we're done with it. We're just going to buy Carvana options.
Boom. Moon.
Going along right now, but no, we won't do that. I think options is the way to play. Yeah, we're going to moon your account for you, Larry. But yeah, go. This is a good time to go, man. They say sell in May and go away. I feel like
not this year, apparently.
Well, it's early May. You know, so I think after the next week, we'll have probably, we have some earnings next week, of course, but then it starts to slow down, and then you've already had Fed. There's no Fed again until June. So that's their next report is back in June. So we'll wait to see there. All right, so meanwhile, while you guys were talking about Carvana there, we're able to do pretty good again on Apple, as it just came back up into the 85, 86. Our best fill is 90. Most of the fills are 85 or 86. But look at this, man. You're coming back down. We may get stopped out now. And I was talking about it on the midday about how come I have so many fills there with Max, but these are all profit takes. And, you know, so that way when it does dip down, we are gonzo on these names. So, all right, so far so good here as we go. I just want to look at a couple other things quickly here. AMD. Unfortunately, this is going to look bad because we just got we only had 10% left. We told you guys that. It breaks 90 and we get out right there on that break. So actually it breaks 80 and we're out. So we're just out right now. That just filled right there. We did miss that very high of 90.44. Wow. But the NASDAQ didn't even pull down that much. It's just off of 13.3. So you're starting to break down below 13.3 now. So that's out. Meta out. Look at this Meta out. Like, I'm just going to spin this. First of all, Meta just vaulted itself up today on my account. So great day for me on Meta. But you hold something forever, and this is what can happen to you. So we do not have that ultimate high at 234. And even when I was in this on the midday, I was like, guys, I need to probably get out of this. We're right at this level again. We didn't. We thought that, hey, maybe the NASDAQ just wants to run the rest of the day. So we use our 50 period. So we did give up about another 70 cents there on the way down. But that got out at 233.75. It's now down. It just touched 232.50. So I feel like we did pretty good there, saving ourselves by getting some out on Meta. I can't hold it for everything, but that was a good little hold there on Meta. Since we're talking about PacWest right now, This has been a trade that I'm going to go over this quickly, and we're going to get back to Brendan because I want to start trading. This is 5. So we went short first on some of those halts. That was wrong. That's a short 450. That's an out at 475. 25 cents worth of risk, Crimea River. Then we went long again. We got out of half when it broke 5. Then we added that position again when we took 515. Then up, and away. Our best out's though only 580. So we're going to be fine on PacWest today, waiting for that top break. So any kind of news that comes through, we're going to pay attention to that one on PACW.
All right, let's get through a couple here. KVUE day 2 on the board there really ended up being a bit of a nothing trade. There was a bit of a fade early on this morning, but it's done nothing but go sideways ever since. So let's talk about something more exciting, shall we? Tesla here, one of those. March China deliveries, Randy, preliminary numbers better than expected versus a year ago. So important note. It wasn't, if you compare versus March versus April, it was actually down significantly, but year over year, decent bump to the upside, and that was all because the COVID-19 lockdown for the factory. But huge number, 75,842 cars in 1 month delivered over in Shanghai. Carvana was the other one, up on a huge second quarter forecast, specifically better than expected. There was the short side of the equation here as well, guys, for CVNA.
Yeah, we just sort of went over. Like that's a nasty thing about CVNA. It's like because of that setup in the 50, it's either 58% or some sources might have like different numbers, but it doesn't matter. Over 50% short flow. It got rugged early. It hasn't somehow broken that previous low, but I suspect it's going to any second now. That's why we showed it to you. I thought by now it would have already broken the bottom, trending down. So we'll jump to Tesla. Tesla, I loved 165 all week. And if you're watching the show this week, then pretty much every single time that we've gotten to 165 on Tesla, it's just been a pullback. Get rid of that wick, maybe it's a little better. Yeah, so you get to 165, it's been dipped. How much you make has been the only thing holding it back. Like sometimes it goes all the way down to 160. Late in the day, a couple of days ago it did. We never saw 165 yesterday. That's the level that we got to on the Fed. I was short again going into it. And then that was pretty quick because I want to say I was in the short for a matter of seconds. I don't think it probably didn't last very long. I was in it, and then I was reversed into the long pretty much instantaneously. Worked up to 66. I ended up trailing out of it. It went to 69. I trailed out when it looked like it was going to head to VWAP. Ended up being a bad out. I just jumped right back in when a double top broke out at 169. Now it's above 170. So I'm holding on. I want to see where I can add to this. I felt like maybe this 169.5 would be something, but we didn't really dip back that far. We're at a pretty big level here on the NASDAQ. You know, we've been here before, but this 13, like we're at that 13.3 zone. This has been like a drop-off point, if you can't tell. Every time we kind of wicked into it or consolidated there, we've run away from it in the last few days here. This is a bit of a different story, I would think, the way we've legged into it today, but resistance is resistance, so I haven't really bought anything at the highs. I kind of have longs into the high of the day right now, and if this gets taken out, then I like pretty much Carvana doesn't count. I like longs into this. I like anything big tech. I like Apple, which I got at VWAP, and I like Tesla, which we're at the 69 level. I mean, like, I wish I could say I had Nvidia. I got up and missed my stop at 285, and I wouldn't buy Nvidia at this high because you're running into the resistance level. If anything, as we get here, I'm looking for things that are setting up for a short. One of those is a firm. So I'm holding on to that Tesla. I'll be pretty disciplined or patient with the reload, just given where the futures are at here. But there's certainly some short opportunities. And as I mentioned, a firm is barcoding up 17% and at the 50-period moving average here. I mean, if I'm ever going to short this thing again, which it's been a while, it feels like this thing rejecting the 50 over and over and over again on the daily here. I mean, you have about 20 cents overall of room. Okay, maybe not even that, like 15 cents. I'm going to take my shot. Like, I want to get short into this pop here as we're getting to this resistance level.
We could probably take that board down. I don't know if we'll be doing it. We've already talked about Carvana already, and everything. Yeah. So Kenvue, whatever. We'll look at that in a minute. I just want to talk about AMD right here because we just got another position on board right now. Yes, sir. Holy crap. Good little trade here on AMD as we just whoa. It just went to 90 and then flushed. Did you guys see that? Yeah, there it is, up to 86, 87, 88. Still trying to go right now. There it is, yes, 89. So yes, sir. Nice little reload there on AMD. Let's see if now it can go back up to the top side. And then we also got Apple again. down there at 70. So pretty good little reloads happening right there for me on that account. So we could talk about Kenvue. I didn't even look at it yet today, so let's do that together right now to see what's happening. So, all right, you're looking at the 5-minute chart right here. I'll zoom out a little bit more for this. We just IPO'd yesterday down there, so we all saw that at 25.50. That was my trade of the day for sure because we had it all the way and it was a great one. And then now today, you can see it's kind of just hovering, man, not doing a whole heck of a lot. It did bust out to 27.50, and since then it's just been holding this bottom 26.20 with decent volume, 8.5 million shares. So I'd say good on you if you had Kenvue today. But the thing is, actually that's where it opened. Sorry, there, and that was in the pre-market when we had that 27.50. So we really didn't get to that level. Straight to the downside, bought up at 26.20. So I feel like, you know, if there was not buyers down here, then obviously that wouldn't have stopped there. So I would look to say Kenvue, maybe 26.25 could be some buyers. But I'd say let this thing settle down, man. Give it that 20, 30 days. Let the shares and let this all settle down in people's accounts. Get it all figured out, and then we'll look at Kenvue again. So very exciting name. Congratulations if you had it. AMD back up. Oh, it's Apple. Apple's the one right now that's going for me back into the 90s. So we'll get a piece out there. We'll just punch out 91, 92 and get a piece out because look at this. Again, this is going to be the number one name. We talked about that despite missing the move up on the show. We missed that move at 71. Short, longs now. So we're building, we're planting red roses as it comes through right now. So that should be really fun. I'm already looking forward to these margaritas and tacos, so I'm pretty excited about it, but let's position ourselves the right way. We're only long everything. Apple, AMD, PacW. So those are two names. Again, AMD had the news yesterday with earnings. Apple had the news today. And then PacW, I don't have to tell you about that. And then Intel, we're just forever short, but we only have a 3% of that position on right now, looking to add to it. As AMD, man, we're really cruising right now today. AMD up to 90 again. Let's get a piece out.
Yeah, I was even Carvana just bounced it, which I'm glad because I'm just going to take it out where we can get it. But everything else is rounding back into the high. We're now above that 174. So, maintain Apple, I think, is just a bit of a long. I'm not taking it up here because my out's at 73, and I think we need to break out the top here. So I'm pretty reluctant to put on at the high. I'm not sure where I'd be stopping out if I did, but we're now through the top. So 2% up in the NASDAQ, and we're kind of through that resistance on the high, or at least wildly challenging it as we go to the desk with Brendan.
Just another update on the U.S. banking sector. We've got also Western Alliance Bank Corporation up just about 50% on the day following PacW's rebound. A bunch of the smaller regional banks on the way up. Just across the board here, again, W up about $9 today, guys.
Brendan's job there, so shout out to Randy, very versatile dude. Yeah, there's Western Alliance, PacW, so we're in all those names. So thanks, Randy, for filling out there right here. People asking, what does Randy do? The answer, everything.
Literally everything.
Literally everything right there. So people are loving it. Look at this. Randy's a pro. Look at this.
Look at that. Radio voice.
Who is it? Brandy. That's a great one.
Boom.
Brendan and Randy. Brandy. Shout out to Brandy on the desk over there. That sounds like female. I know. Yeah,
well, because it's a singer, but
yeah, I know, but still.
What does she even do
Unless
anymore?
you're sipping some brandy.
I watched the show that she was on.
Right now.
The Game.
There was, yeah, that's right. There was a show.
I love that show.
That's right. Show. Yeah, there it is, man. People are loving it. You guys want? Yeah, what's up, Aaron?
Country music voice.
You guys want to bang for Apple? Then let's go, man. We're making a lot of money. I told you the number one name here on the show today is going to be Apple, and yeah, I'm happy for it, man. I mean, we were wrong on Microsoft, but we definitely made some money back on Apple, and what's turning out to be a good day. So so far so good here, man. We lost a lot of money early and made a lot of money late. So that's sort of my day. We're roller coaster riding here right now, and that's what's going to happen. If you're not going to make tons of money, hopefully you can make a little bit of money or not lose a ton of money. So that's kind of what I'm doing today.
You guys
just
are killing me.
Now hovering back and forth on those trades. So we're going to wait to see where we go from here.
You guys are all over it. Like it's just more Randy, Bo Bandy. Like you guys are loving him. We love Randy around here, which is the great thing about it too. It's like he didn't just come with anything. He actually gave you guys a legitimate story. I thought I was just going to walk up there and like, sort of make something up, but that's not the case.
So Carly,
we didn't talk about Shopify in the rundown. We didn't, but it's not having a bad day. However, this last move to the upside, Shopify is not participating. It's been super strong. Obviously, you know, that 55 is long gone. The 60 breakout, I took it out at 61. It's now holding 62. But if we fail this move at the top and we never even broke the high on Shop, this isn't about what it did today. I mean, this is also yesterday. In 2 days, you've gone from like that 46 support all the way up to $62. Right? Like, come on, like that's over 30%. I mean, that's just a ridiculous move. So suffice to say, if we start curling back in on the futures, and we do not actually hold this high, Shop it's really presenting you with an opportunity sort of off this high of day. Just not really going anywhere. Barcoding and the market screaming, and you're already up so much. I could see some profit taking on this name. Not much else is setting up. I saw a firm at the 50 period on the daily, so that could be worth it. I'm already in it. I'll only add if it gets to that 1080. But this Shop, if it doesn't break 62.50, I need the futures to slow down, then I'll probably jump over into it. I already told you guys about Vana. We're pretty lucky that one decided to give us an out. And Nvidia is starting to it's ramping already back up to the highs. I want that dip into 85. We just might not get it. I could see this double tap at the same time the futures are taking those highs. And if that's the case, maybe this turns into an opportunity for a short. It almost seems crazy, but yeah, the longs have already paid out here. And I just see that, I'm looking at that Shop. I might just get a baby step in here, because if it's not going to move up and it starts curling early, I'm going to hate myself that I didn't get in. It's already pretty tight risk to reward on the stock as it is.
All right. What's up, Carly? What's up, everybody that's there today? What's up to Bears versus Bulls, man? Happy anniversary a couple days ago to Bears versus Bulls. You have been. All right. So right now, AMD, we just took another piece. Like, what the trades that we put on here this afternoon, man, have just been crazy. So there you go. AMD, huge move to the upside. I mean, huge move. I mean, let's see if it gets up here. That would be a nice move. But we also had that move, too, from 89. We just didn't get out the best at 90.40. Our best outs were right into here. So let's see if we can now hold it on a retracement back down for AMD. So that just hit back in, so we took the long, and let's see where it goes. Remember, we got stopped out of that trade right there, but then once that held on our stop out zone, we got back in. So we talked about that as a strategy moving forward, so that's what we do right there. And not only that, man, I don't know what else to tell everybody about Apple. But like, if this is not, and shout out to anybody that wants this, because you know I'm not even green today. Like, we're almost back to Greensville. I talked about it on the early show there, how much we had lost. We didn't do the greatest job on DraftKings, and then we really got hit on Microsoft early. But all we've done is just battle the hell back. And I mean, I need to talk to Greg after this, because every day I get absolutely smoked in the morning and then make it all back in the afternoon and make it back with a vengeance. So if I just was like sleeping in the morning and then just only started trading like after noon or so, then you'd see some, actually it's probably like after like 10:30. So I'm just joking, I can figure this out myself. But go back, look over your trade lists and just figure out like where you've been wrong. If it's a time of day thing, you can download your trade list and try to figure this out yourself.
There was a feature.
Exactly.
This is a Day Trade the World thing. Yeah. Where, like, so Metro is a back office portal for traders and managers, and there's something called BOP. It's basically where you find your P&L, all that kind of stuff, and they allow you to sort it so you can see by time of day. I'm pretty sure that still exists. I mean, you can sort it by time of day. This is your P&L. 9 to 9:30 or whatever it works out to. This is what it is during lunch. There was a trader we both know who, quite frankly, I don't think he ever made money after like 10:30. Like, the second 10:30 hit, it's like, forget about it. It gives the LFT every single. Didn't matter how good the start of the day was. He could start terrible. He could start great. Whichever it was, at 10:30, his net was going down. It just didn't make a difference. Because he was an open trader. And then he was okay when it came to the close. And just that's how it is.
Know what you do best.
Yeah, and then that's what you got to do. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, Tesla might be giving up that 170. So I did get into Shop. I had that affirm. We're already starting to think about Tesla pulling back in here. We're still holding above on the futures at 13.3, so I don't think we failed the level just yet. But you're getting some barcode action here on Tesla, on all the big names. Apple keeps projecting 174. I feel like maybe that one is maybe worth, I know what, usually I would already be out of this one if I saw it wick 174 this many times. Because, and I said this to Max, if it's going to break in trend, you can always get back in on the break in trend. Like, I have my entry, I've done the scalp trading where it made sense, and here, all I'm seeing is resistance at 174, so it does make sense. If we're gonna trend above 174 in the afternoon, I'm pretty sure we can get back into it, and what is Carvana doing? Nothing? Probably nothing. No, it's really quiet. But like lower highs into this breakdown, it's going to be short sell restricted. So I don't even know if you can, like what liquidity will be like if it breaks that low at 890. But I suspect you could have some floodgates open up. The gap is obviously pretty darn big given what happened yesterday. It's a $7.20 stock in yesterday's trade. So I could easily see this, filling back at least 50 cents or something like that. I'm not really trading that top stock, so good luck to anybody in it. Last I checked, it was at like $10 or something. I'm going to limit the number of names we trade. I just added to a firm, so I'm working off this high. To me, it's not really a success unless it gets down into 60 and then starts breaking the 60 even if I'm giving it to 80, is I'm short 68s here. So I'm putting about 15 cents worth of risk plus a little bit more, and then we needed to pull back into VWAP here, and that's off the daily chart. Like I'm just looking at that 50-period moving average, and we're looking to pull the pullback. So if it goes past the evens, I like to give it a couple of extra cents. I don't like even dollar stops, but not too much. I don't want to get too stubborn about this here. That's how I get myself into trouble.
Kenvue and AMD was such a bad report, and it was at $90.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even think it was a bad report. I mean, the market told us it was bad. This was right here, dropped down to this $80 level yesterday. Then we get some of that news about some of their chips and their GPUs being used for some potentially that chat GPT. Microsoft's come out and said no, but who knows? Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And then today there's a lot of fire because AMD is just rocking right now, completely back up to the upside right now. So, so far so good. Decent trade here for AMD. More than decent trade for AMD. What am I talking about? As that just made a new move upside. And we just got a piece out at 20 right there at 19. So that was like a really good out up there. Now it's trying to fade back a little bit. Someone in the chat was like, there's a wall at 174 for Apple. Yes, sir, or ma'am, whoever mentioned that, you are right, because Apple is having a hard time. And every time it gets up here, it just fades back out. And that's what we identified early right there by going short. Now we're also identifying that there's been a long buyer or a buyer down here at 177, 173.70 as well, which is why we took that long. But we can get out now. I mean, it just made a move to 95. Let's put an offer at 94. Again, for Apple, look, it's 20 cents in the money. But the thing about it is, you guys that trade a little differently than myself, we've talked about this before, and that is that, 1, 2, 3, 4 outs, 4 in, sorry, with multiple outs. So if I'm reloading, as long as you're reloading the same amount of shares than taking them out on the upside, you're really getting not double mint fun, you're getting quad into here. So you're going long there, making money. Coming back in, getting long again, making more money again, coming back in, making more, coming back in, making more. So this really saves you from those L's, because if this does dip down this last time, you've already captured all of this. And as long as the risk to reward on your outs are at least 1-to-1, then it should make sense to continue to do this. But you are seeing this make a move back to the upside, 173.70. I'm double checking my stop was actually at breaking of 60. So now that this has moved upside here, we're going to switch our out, and I'm just going to make sure that it still makes sense. The 5-minute, it doesn't matter, man. VWAP is just going to show us the levels that we already know all the way down here. So we're going to look at a 1-minute because we're actually scalping. And here we go. It's starting to break above 175 right now. Ooh, baby. We're going to be getting, 74. We're going to be getting close, hopefully on the run to 75. We're going to be getting close to hopefully a green day for us here. So let's go upside on Apple. And it's always a green day when we've got Randy at the desk.
Just another little one moving around here. Fubo TV having a day up about 27%. Not bad. Nice recovery on some news with more subscribers coming in. Having a pretty good rebound today, guys.
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing. So Fubo is having a fantastic day, and thank you, Randy, for pointing it out there. It's up 38%, sorry, 28%, but it is kind of, it might huadunk here. That's what I want to get at. It's the easy way of saying it. It's a random price, but it's $1.42, and you can see it pulling back into previous support. You go in the afternoon or early afternoon. Maybe that was like 11 o'clock when we left. So 142, that gets taken down. I could see it pull that gap back in. I think this sets up pretty decently for next week. Oh, my daily doesn't work there. So the 50 period would be it pulling back to, I think it was like 130 or something like that. So it's probably got a decent 130 level for support there. Ooh, look at that. Long this. Thank you for the super chat there. I just saved $3.99 on Trade Ideas Pro using the Trader TV Live promo code.
Boom.
Congratulations!
I was talking about this in the midday show when I was on with Max, and he was showing off, like someone asked him how he gets, like he was looking for all those scanners of things breaking out, and he pulled his trade ideas down and showed you guys this is what I use and this is what was at the high. The reason we talk about trade ideas and the reason why that promotion is and the reason why it's the only affiliate is because literally everyone around here uses it. Everyone that you see on the show does. People on the trading floor have been using that as a scanner for years. I mean, almost as long as I can remember. I even mentioned that the Algo group, which they sit back there, it's just really automated trading. It's not really like what you think, but at the end of the day, they've been using trade ideas for years as well. So I think it's a great product, especially if you are a momentum trader looking for things that are going to be moving, which quite frankly, that's what you're supposed to do. You want to trade things that move. Speaking of things that moved, Apple moved right through my 174 last offer. I just want to try to get rid of this wick and it crashed my chart. So I'm out of that 73 VWAP long. It just keeps on running into this resistance here. And I put on a couple of things at these highs. So I don't know that I want to put anything else on at the top. I got Shop and Affirm. They're both relatively strong at this point. But there's one other name that I'm curious about here down at the bottom, because Square caught a bounce. Like not the first time. It caught a bit of a bounce, not the first time, but like here at that 58.80. So double bottom on Square. And as the market is pressing higher as we speak, it's right back down to those lows. Like this is so unbelievably weak, this stock. Like it can't even sustain a rally when the market's breaking the top, and it just went off a double bottom. I'd hate myself if I wasn't short this name at some point, because how can you like a short better than a weak name like this? It might not be a flat bottom break. It might just be trying to catch a bit of a pop, or I wait for the market to get back under 13.3 and short the stock wherever it happens to be. But one way or another, I am looking for an entry into this one. I don't know if it'll be that flat bottom break. I kind of feel like I'll take a shot at it. I'd much rather short a pop, but if there's no pop, what are you going to do?
All right. I'm looking. Yeah. No. Look. I mean, you got to let stocks come into you, and if they're not going to come into you, then just try to be patient. That's what we're kind of doing right now, waiting for something to happen. And I found a little bit of something here, and this is why we held on to Intel, because Intel just came right back, and it's right back into this level again here on the daily. So let's just see what happens. What just happened right there? Oh, we got more short. Okay. So yeah. Okay. We got filled at 15s. Okay. So now we're gonna have to watch out for this, because we're gonna give this about to 20s. That little top there is 23. No, that's sorry. No, that's not. I put a stop 23, but it looks like we don't need to get that high for that. So we're gonna stop that. I do have I have another fill coming at 19. So we're gonna get out. I mean, if it breaks, whatever. I mean, that's 20. So we test that 2021. You know what? I'm actually fine. We've made some really good money back here today. Obviously, we've talked about that. Let's just see if our read is gonna be right. I mean, I don't. Look at the NASDAQ. It's really pumping up, man. And we've got great winners, man. Apple is now 35 cents in the money and starting to go higher. I mean, this is a big one right here for me. We've made a lot on this. And then AMD as well. That's 35 cents in the money and trying to break out. Whether or not it does, I mean, we got to get up here to 90.50. I don't have any more offers on AMD, so I am looking for the moon here. So let's see if that can happen. But it's Intel, and then the PacW, man, we only have 10%. This is small. Just waiting to see, because I'll be able to see it'll gray out, and I'll be able to see if it goes into a halt. So let's wait to see on PacW. If anything, just waiting for a $6 break on that name, so hopefully that can come through. But right now, it's AMD trying to work it to the high side. And then I want to hold Apple just in case we get that last second bump. But Apple just today has been topped out a bunch of times up here at 1.7. Like literally right here, right now, has been the top. I mean, the top is 174.20, but good enough right here. So this is leading me to think that I should probably be talking about getting out some more right now, but we've already gotten some out, and we actually held, and we got pretty much the high of the day right there on Apple already once. So let's see if we can do that again. Kept on buying these dips, man. Buy it, buy the break, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. So that's what we're doing. It's pretty straightforward to me right now. And then Intel, I just put that stop. I didn't put the stop out, but I'm gonna do it. 31.23. We'll take another fill here at 20, and then we'll wait for a couple more pennies after that. I don't want to be short if the market's going to rip. So we'll wait on that for right now. And I don't know if the market's going to rip or it's already ripping. It's up 2.25% right now, the NASDAQ.
I mean, it's not ripping from here. It's already ripped, right. I think. But I want to get to, so Renata asked me in the chat there if I'm going to reload Carvana. The answer is no. The way I see it is, if you were going to get back to VWAP, it's like, why didn't it do it here? You've already got lower highs. It was putting in lower highs, obviously, since it huadunked, and I was part of it. And then you see it get to 940 here. And if it doesn't break that time and stop this whole pattern and put another lower high here, I just don't want to be reloading at that particular point. Like, if it had, I'd almost rather buy something like this at a higher low. If it breaks 40, starts feeling close to VWAP, and then puts in a higher low here at like 910 or 915, then I'd rather buy that than buy it back at 9 in a downtrend. So, you know, I didn't reload it the first time it got there after I was long. As a matter of fact, I took more shares out. Now it's just a matter of, if it breaks low of the day, I'm gone. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's entirely too weak. I look at that, and I look at that the same way I look at Square, only this stock is 50% short, so I'm not going to short when it breaks the bottom necessarily, whereas Block definitely can put that trade on. Apple, it's 174.20 is the current high of the day. That could be a solid break. Tesla looks pretty good too. I'm kind of tracking here Nvidia this entire time as well. This is one where, oh goodness, oh boy. Yeah, that chart's a little jacked up. I'll just do that, and you guys can see the black chart. When I look up like this, these are the charts of the stocks that I'm trading and monitoring, right? So I'm never sort of trading blind. We just sort of show you that these charts here, and our producer likes it when they're white charts. Apparently, you guys are supposed to like that better. But yeah, so here's Nvidia. It could be pulling back off that 287. If we fail this top, I can see Nvidia coming right back in. 85 looks really good for a potential break. 83 would be insane, but stranger things have happened. I just keep my eye on that 13.3. If we don't hold 13.3, you could really see some profit taking here. Nvidia's been a screamer. If it does a dip buy, I want a chance. I want to take a chance on this one for a dip buy, just the way it's been screaming to the upside here today. So, oh, now it's filled in. There you go. I could have just stayed on here for a while. Yeah, so 85, 83, those are the two places I'll look for dip buys on Nvidia.
We have a bid also. Yeah, I think dip buying is the right thing to do here. I mean, we're still short. You talked about Nvidia trying to dip buy. We actually just shorted again Intel. We talked about that. There it is. I was going to say we're waiting for a 10 fill. We get it right there. So a nice little fill there at 10s on this. And again, if we're going to go short, our last fill there is at 15. If we're going short at 15 and our stop's going to be then that 20, 21, 22 area, you know, that's 7, 8 cents. So we'll take 5 cents on less, actually that was 10%. And then we're gonna wait down here at the 50 period. So I actually have a bid at 06 right now for a little bit more. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more there because, hey, if we can get that fill, we'll be pretty happy with that. So let's put a 7 and a 6 just to get some out as we come back in. And again, why we sort of scalping this out, we're already long and in charge of some of these longs. So this has been fine, AMD's been fine, Apple's been fine. So we want to just kind of protect the short right now. So if it does come in, again, you're up a lot today. So I could see this coming in one more time. Let's check out advanced micro devices. AMC here. This AMC Entertainment Holdings. We bumbled that earlier. We were calling it AMC Holdings.
Looked it up.
AMC Entertainment.
I looked it up.
Right there. So here it is right now. And again, it's really strange that we're not getting any movement off earnings here today. But there's a lot of other shiny things that people could be trading. And
Microsoft?
It doesn't look like AMC wants to do much today. So we'll stay away from it. But again, really nice on the daily. It's already taken out that 50 period, which is $5. Well, 5.20, and you're starting to go back up to the upside. It was just a couple days ago, man. We were down here at 4, and now you're at 6. So I would say congratulations, because I think that that's a win for anybody that's involved in AMC. So, yeah, exactly. Like, and you know, put some money in your pocket if you're long down here. If you're just recovering some of the losses, it's nice to get back at $6. So that's working out for us. And by the way, AMD right now trying to take names and just go right back up to the upside one more time here. So if that can get I'm sitting at 38 because that high is 40. So we want to try to get a fill up here. It just wick top 30. All right, you know what? I'm going to cancel. See, this is why I do this all the time. Like, why do I bother to look at these stocks sometimes? I'm going to put an offer at 29, see if we get that up to the upside there. I don't want to miss that. That's right where we went to. Let's play some of this momentum long right now and try to get this out on AMD and what's been a very, very successful afternoon here.
Yeah, so Nvidia's back up at the high. Microsoft is back up at the high double top. Looks like it's trying to take it out there. Just noting like what is strong, what is weak. You know, Tesla's not really getting back to the high. I'm still on that one. Like you said, Apple's kind of pulling back in here. Carvana did make that breakdown. So I thought Square was going to be the opportunity here. It gets pretty interesting because, I mean, I like Square for this kind of a trade, and I have my stop order in, but Square's not breaking the low of the day. It's actually trying to push back up as we speak. I might go for the Carvana if I can get it. Wall's dropping. Is it really?
Oh, AMD.
But Wall's already been dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I thought you meant like Wall was dropping like right now. No, Wall's already been dropping off of that high. So I thought something was happening specifically on Wall, but a Carvana looks like it is a flat bottom break. And if I'm not going to get Square, I'm going to try to get into this one off that $9 area. It's not moving, which means despite the fact that it's short sell restricted, I should be able to catch an uptick. It's not exactly flushing to the downside. I just got out of not Square, it wasn't Affirm, it was Shopify there. Just looked over to make sure. It started to break back into the upside. And the thing that got me out, it's like, oh my goodness. Like we're now running away from that level. Like we are screaming away from 13.3 at this particular point. So look, if I don't see some movement on Tesla, I'm going to be able to be peeved at this. Affirm is still holding beneath that 50 period on the daily, but everything else is just screaming to the top. I might like that Apple break at 42, 420, I should say. It's a different story on CVNA. I don't expect it's going to follow the market. That shouldn't matter whatsoever. And Nvidia, I guess maybe there isn't a dip buy to be had. Really gonna. A break at 287 at this time of the day seems utterly ridiculous. But a break at 285 seemed ridiculous too, and that kind of ran $2 pretty quick. So here we are. There's actually not even there's no size on this level either. A lot of times you'll see more size in this. I'm going to take a shot here, probably not all in or anything, but let's see what happens on Nvidia. This market is trying to take out the highs as we speak. Actually, it's through them, 2.25. It's kind of perilous, but Nvidia's been running shorts over the entire way. Only about 20,000 shares on the offer, which is not a lot for something like Nvidia. Tesla's starting to go again. I might try to add in front of 170 here. Just give myself a better average price. Give it to 169.5.
Yeah, it's funny that you're looking at Nvidia. We're still long AMD, and I think that makes a lot of sense. You got to look at names that have been moving around, and we just missed. It went to 29 and stopped, so I took a 27 fill there on AMD to get another piece out of that name. So now we wait. Now we wait for AMD to make a move here. Is there any other names right now? Yeah, let's look at Fubo. A lot of people talking about Fubo. Of course, didn't they had earnings, right? So let's go over there and look at Fubo.New York right now. Only up 31%. Wow, great day here for Fubo. I say only just tongue-in-cheek. That's a great day. But, I mean, Fubo has been absolutely destroyed, as you guys can see down here, bouncing off that dollar clean. Like, sometimes it just looks so simple, you know, like it's barcoding down here, and it's like basically down here for, I mean, that's March. So March, it was stuck in a 20-cent range. Now, sure, that's 20%. I get it. You don't look at this the same way you look at a Microsoft or anything like that. But still, barcoding. Then you get earnings. The minute you took out 128, you knew that there was going to be a move to the upside. So let's have a look to see what it looked like today off the open. Easy to take this trade, man. Like that 128, there it is right here. Never even comes back. You take that trade and you rip that the rest of the day. So I feel like I've been sleeping on a lot of these names, but that's going to change, and that's going to change starting Monday, because if I see another runner like that, we talked about DraftKings, and again, I'm just embarrassed that we wind up losing on DraftKings today, because it actually does exactly the play that I'm looking for off earnings, and I talked about this over and over again. Wait for a stock to beat. It happened on Uber, happened on Shopify 2 days ago. Let it dump down a little bit, or I don't know, little or lot, doesn't matter. Let it base out and give you the entry, because we don't want to play breaks. So what you got to do is you got to wait for something to happen. On Apple, different story, man. That didn't happen at all. So that's why I feel like I'm not mad. I mean, Apple, like I said, still the #1 name. Happy about it, but hard to get that long. I feel like this was not hard to get this long down here at all. For DraftKings, because it just bounced around, gave you these bottom exhaustion wicks down there. Not only that, it exhausted itself at 23 even. Like, come on.
Oh my God.
And then put up, where's my face? Fail right there, because I feel like that was a missed opportunity. But then everything sort of started to make sense again. Yeah, good. Keep it on there. Good
Who
enough.
says but then? That's a line.
But then it came up to what? Someone says that all the time?
No, I feel like it's a line from something.
Is it? Okay, well, yeah, you'll probably be able to figure it out at some point. I don't know where it's from. But then it went all the way to $225, which is the level that we written down here on the sticky note today that we wanted to get short, and we did. And we did get short, but again, like I said, we lost a little bit too much money on this short because we started it at 85. I have no problems with that. Then we got out. Then we re-shorted it and made money there. I'm not talking about we're down a lot of money on this stock. It's just I really feel like we should have stayed in this short because we got stopped out there at 30s. But again, when it takes that key level, we think it's going to go higher. It just doesn't. And then now if you zoom back out for the rest of the day, you can see you're still right here. So it's not like it's made a lot of money. But that was too bad that we had gotten that wick. But the reason why we had it, again, if you just go over to the 20, it doesn't show it on the 20 minute. I guess it's the daily chart here for DraftKings. Bear with me just for 1 second. That 25 was the top that we had seen a couple times before, right there, right? So that's why when you take that out, you sort of think you're making a new high. But hey, congratulations, DraftKings, man. Anybody that's had the patience to sit in this name, definitely rewarded over the last couple months.
Yeah, I'll say that. I will go with
Congratulations!
for that one if you got it. And yeah, the market's making we keep making fresh highs. And every time I look over, we go from like 2% up to 2.1, 2.2, 2.35 on the NASDAQ. Nvidia broke 287. We're now at 287.35. I'll probably take some out here. Well, I got some out already when it passed the quarter mark. When it gets to the 50s, I'll take some. We're scalping high of the day breaks at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Half of me thinks that we're going to get a chance at a dip, but it's like, it's not half of me. It's like, it's a portion of me, and that's why that's why I'm in that Affirm. But realistically, the trend is to the upside. Pretty much everything is booming. As I mentioned, not everything is making the move. I never got that Carvana. You heard me say that CVNA was short sell restricted, and yeah, it's not doing anything, so I'm going to be able to get an uptick and get that fill. Well, I didn't get an uptick nor get that fill. Just going to cancel it here. If it pops back up, maybe I'll get the short closer to 9. I feel in a strong market, let it go upside and go into you if you want to grab that short. Otherwise, work your longs, hold on to them, smoke them if you got them. They're definitely continuing to work. I think you could see 288 on Nvidia. No way, Ben. Wayfair is going to break the top again? This stock. Oh, no, break the downside. Okay, I thought you were saying breaking the high of the day. That's a flat bottom. See, anything that's moving down like this as the market continues to go up, like, come on. I look over. Where are the red bars on this 15-minute? Okay, there are a few, but I'm cheating. There's one red bar when we cross this little magical line above 13.3 that I had in there for months, or at least weeks, I think. Now, one little red line, and now you're screaming to the upside. Now I can say we're screaming to the upside. I'm using the wrong one. I meant to hit this. I actually don't like that arrow. Now that we have that little one, now you're printing green. That's what matters. Yeah, I could see the short here. If I wasn't already in a firm, I think I'd be taking a shot at this. The Qs are at that previous top. And so let me just zoom out a little bit because this is what it looks like on the higher time frame. I keep showing you my 15-minute, which I use for like momentum trades, but the 60-minute on the NQ, this is it. If we don't turn here, I don't think we're turning. That's probably the only, I don't know other way to say it. So I got my one short on. Nvidia's at the top. I don't know that I want to press it. I could make an argument for just taking anything that sets up really tight stop for a short, but I'm already in one of those. So we'll see what happens. It's a decision point for the market. You want to react to this. I don't know that you need to anticipate it. If I was in no positions, I'd probably take a shot at something. But as you can see, I'm already in.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the market just heading to the upside right here. So yeah, man.
It's cray-cray.
I mean, we're it is cray right now. But there goes AMD. It just topped out at 40 again. We were waiting at the very high of the day, man. 45. Doesn't look like we're going to get to that. Either way, this is 55 cents of the money. We just put this on for you guys about an hour ago. So I'm just going to. I just wanted to wait for you guys to tell you this because I'm going to take a piece out here. Should have got it out at 35. I thought we'd still be there. Let's go. Now we're at 33. It's dropping down a little bit. It's all good. If that does come back in, we've taken some money on this name, so I feel pretty happy about the way this has been trading here today for AMD, considering that we were short early. Just real quick, man, PacW starting to go again, so it's back up here to $6 one more time. So we're 75 cents in the money on this. So I feel like this is a name that, you know, we've been happy to hold it so far, but it's getting the volume back. Is it? Not really, but the level's trying to go. We do have some size on here. I'm holding it for this. So if we fail again at $6 here, then we probably have to get out if it takes 575 or something. So just be careful if you're in PacWest. It's come up here a couple times, failed at $6. So, you know, that's just another one of these levels that I'm looking at one more time as, wow, it's getting on in time. It's already 3 o'clock coming through here. It's 2:59:40. So a power hour about to be on us, but this market's already powering itself up. So
it's been power hour for the last.
Yeah, it's been going.
Well, all day pretty much.
It's been going. That's
really,
for sure.
Realistically, all day.
Yeah. Realistically, all day. That's right. Because it started with Apple.
Yeah.
Apple just carried the day and just carried us all the way up to the promised land.
You know what's crazy? Remember Thursday of last week? That update that was like relentless.
Yes,
it was
got
just super
smoked.
Relentless.
That was May 1st.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Wasn't
No,
it?
May 1st was the drop day.
Okay.
It was the 27th. Was that? Come to my chart for a second. This is this day on the NASDAQ where it's just all it was screamed to the upside. You can't tell me this isn't basically the same thing. This is the same move, man. Like you're getting, what is that, like 300 points on the Qs? Okay, well it's only like, no, yeah, it's about the same. No, sorry, I say 250, and then you're getting another 240 right now. It's basically the same strength. Only it has, for some reason, it just feels like it's been a little more methodical, but it is just as impressive. A firm's starting to curl. I just put a few more bids in here. If it flushes down, I want that VWAP, but Nvidia, we could be getting a bit of a turn. Nvidia just came back to 287. Yeah, I'm not fighting that. I'm just getting out. I might trail out of Tesla. If we fail from here, remember where I showed you we were on the NASDAQ? Yeah, that's that top from last week. I think that's where you want to take profits. My trail's pretty tight on Tesla. I'll be out of those longs, printing them, and then holding on to this Affirm Brendo for happening now.
Everything's fine. Randy's still here. Into the final hour, as I was saying. You didn't hear me, but trust me, I said it. Here comes some green numbers for you to wrap things up. 2% for the S&P, 1.7 for the Dow. The Russell having quite the day as well. 2.4 there for the 2,000 leading the way. 1.95 for the 1,000, 2% for the Russell 3,000 as well. It's these two, though, the composite and the 100. 2.36, 2.24 right now. It's been that way most of the day. If you joined us much earlier this morning, we were talking Apple, we were talking Shopify, we were talking Tesla off that preliminary Chinese sales number from last month that was decent, to say the least. This, meanwhile, is the chart. I zoomed in on this so you can get a better picture, but that's non-farm payrolls, once again, back to the upside last month. Surprise in a big way, back above 200,000 and then some after a bit of a trend to the downside. So not necessarily what overall Fed Chair Powell was looking for, but the market doesn't care. 5.5% for Tesla right now as well at day highs, guys.
Highs, but there's always a but.
There's always a
There's
but.
there's not always a but, but this right now there's a but.
There's always a but.
It's now double tapped. Maybe you could stretch out and think it triple tapped 174.50, and it's coming back into the downside. I'm thinking, my gut's telling me, my spider sense is telling me I'm getting out. I'm out of Tesla here. I'm only holding on. I feel like it's decision point in the futures. Like if we're at this point now at 3 o'clock, I can bank, sort of take everything we've been able to get back, go on to what I think might be the next version, which is either we're dipping from here, and if we're not, just look to play breaks and scalps, which is already what we did with Nvidia. Like that's going to be available. If we trend up for the last hour, I feel like it's going to be available. Nvidia's holding that 87. Maybe just take breakouts. Tesla 170.50 can be a break. Apple's got an available break at 174.20, and then I can just be in and out, not really having to hold on to anything. Just in case we do flush. Now I'm holding on to Firm because that sets up on the higher time frame. I like levels like that. What else was there? There was that silly Carvana that for some reason, that just didn't really do anything for me. It's still, at $9 again. Okay, I might work into a Carvana short as well, but I need this to press up maybe a little bit more. Patience with this one, and Square still available, but I'm going to look for break and runs if we keep going higher, but I'm out of my last long at this point.
I like that, break and run. Haven't heard that. That's a good one.
Is it? I don't know.
Break and why not?
I feel like there's a cooler way to say that.
That probably is. There always is.
Yeah.
We have to ask the ones younger than us to get the cool
Yes.
sayings.
Guys, SSR doesn't mean you can't short it. It just means you need an uptick. So it's not like
Sit on the offer.
Yeah, sit on the offer and hope for somebody to print you on the offer. That's why I wasn't getting filled before.
And that was created because, during the panic, everybody's just hitting the bid, whacking the bid, whack, whack, whack. And then if there's no one there to buy, then the market just keeps going down, 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 down. You can read all about that. Well-documented short sell restricted rules and things like that and why they were implemented. But, okay, so I mean, I took AMD at 30. We talked about that. I don't know what it's doing. I feel like Apple is an out here. We should be getting out every time it comes up to 20. But again, I'm waiting for that potential break into the end of the day. It is. You should be going short.
It's very tempting to short this level.
My only problem is I just want to hold on to see if it goes back up. But I mean, we made, like I told you, man, Apple's the #1 stock here today. And most of my money was made on these shorts. We've really made good money off these longs as well, off VWAP. Off the 200 period right here. But other than that, man, Apple, I still think it remains a long, but let's wait to see there. Just needs to take this. That's the high of the day. Just needs to take it. 174.20 needs to go. If that can go, then great. Just like if AMD, I think, can take this, 90.50. You see yesterday, this is why we were getting out, man. It just kept on coming up to 90.12s, 90.15s. That little top there, that happened after the news. So that's why we're sort of looking at that right there for AMD and why we're out the majority of this one. But this has been a great trade. We were out of the way early on this and then in the way late and made some good money on it. The reason why we talked about being red on the day, the reason why some of that's true is because of this stock. And it's my #1 stock of all time, I think, anyways. But we were really shorting Microsoft early off today. And the reason why, again, stupid to do this because Apple, I mean, I'm trying to learn every day, but Apple coming out with such a big report there should have never been short anything in the first place. So that's the wrong trade. But we saw Microsoft breaking down. And look when I'm getting involved here, and I said I'd have to talk to Greg about this. Like, look at this. I'm in the first minute. When I sit here at like 8:30 and say, I'm not getting in until like 9:45, but we thought it was breaking lower there. So we took a first quick little hit, man, like $100, something like that. Easy peasy there, no problem. But then it went up, and we started noticing that this 306.50 area was resisting. So we took a small piece there and got out. Okay, still bad. But then when we got out, it came right back to the downside. And I was like, you know what? Forget about it. I'm going to go short until we break that. Forget about just breaking 306. Let's break that high. Because by this time it was 9:45. And then right into here, it's 9:50. So I'm pretty confident at this point that the market's running, Apple's running, and Microsoft isn't. So I'm like, okay, Microsoft's coming to the downside. But then when it broke, no, it went up 306.50. Then we took another hit right here at 308. But long story short, we made some money back on Microsoft pretty good here at 309.50, but then we got out of the way, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing we ended our trade there and ended our trade here. Otherwise, look at the damage control that we'd have to put on right now, up to 311.50. Like that's like I said, man, we are dead on that trade. So really happy that at least it started to work out for us. We're able to short it. So that's why when we're trading Apple, AMD, and all these names, we look to make sure that we have some covers when we're there. And before I go over to Randy, just quickly, we shorted again at 20s. We just got some out here at 12s again on the downside for Intel. Look to do the same thing again as it's back into 15. So let's go Intel and let's go Randy.
Just an update on Ford this afternoon, guys. They have recalled a recall. The NTHA, well, it happens. They recalled initially for some airbags in 2004 to 2008 Rangers that were installed incorrectly. So they have recalled the recalled, but it happens.
Ford is up today. Ford's having a, by the way, Apple is right at 174.20. It's like any moment it's going to make that break, so I'm kind of glued to it. But Ford's at $12, not 11, which is frustrating because 11 is a level that we really love. At the high of the day, breaking the high of the day, what isn't breaking the high of the day besides Block and Carvana at this particular point? Come on, 17. Yeah. 174.20 is it's just sitting here on Apple. It's like begging to break. Like it's going to, there's no way, there's no chance, there's almost no chance, it's a non-zero that we don't actually break this level. You can't get to this level with the market screaming at a random price like this. It's 420.
Yes, let's go, Apple. I just got out.
How the hell is it not breaking this
Come
level?
on, break yourself.
It's basically just tempting me to punch 19 short because it won't break. But I have my stop to go long. It's like, how is it not happening? There's all kinds of D-prints going off the offer. Like, it just doesn't want to go. Oh, now it breaks. There's the break, and it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Ooh, I got 21s. You never get 21s on a 20 break. Okay, like it's the upside
the volume
now,
is
Apple.
so good today.
And well, Apple's really liquid. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Like
So
Apple's not Tesla.
Guys, we are like I just have to get out of something, and we're going to be positive today. So I'm going to say thank you so much to myself, because honestly, we had a lot of money slipping out of our account early, and we battled this back, man. And I could just take this fill on Intel and be positive, but we're not doing that. We're going to see if we have some more downside moves right now on Intel. I'm waiting for 12s right here. It's stupid, but hopefully it can come in, and then we'll get that fill, and then hopefully we can even get lower than 12 right now after that. So I don't know, maybe we just jinxed ourselves, but whatever. We're close enough to being positive that it doesn't matter. So wow, what a difference the day was for me here today. I want to thank everybody for your support, man. It means a lot. And yeah, just hitting these. And honestly, I made the money here in the afternoon. It was on the midday show with Max. One stock. So I have to thank my day, honestly, to Meta, because this was a monster move on Meta. What we're able to make back on this really helped us out. So that was a great move back up to the upside. And the thing is, there's a lot of, okay, so Intel just bouncing a little bit here off of 13. Let's put a bid out. I'll put it, there we go. We just got filled, it's okay. Intel went down to 12 where I was waiting and I didn't get that fill. So I instantly thought, okay, I've just jinxed myself. So we just put a bid out there at 13 and got it out. So what I was gonna say is that sometimes trades don't work out for you, and I saw some people in the chat say, well, they blew way more on their account today than they, meant to or whatever. And I think that's, if you're a beginning trader, that makes sense, because we have to learn our lessons sometimes. And I always say go into paper trading, and you can go into paper trading all you want. But honestly, I like that advice when we give it. It's good advice, but it's not real, because if you can't separate the mentality, and we have a lot of traders behind us, trust me, not just behind us now, I'm just saying in general, a lot of traders that start out, they can't, once they go live, it's a completely different psychological game. So it's really different when you're losing fake money to when you're actually trading real money. So that's the one thing I want to say, is that just because you're making money in simulation mode, the market has a funny thing of never being the same day after day. So even though you've gone from your sim account, you've done 70% winners, you're hitting the marks that everyone's told you, you're doing the research, you're getting the trades, you're making that cash. But at the end of the day, I always think it's a good idea for your first couple days live to really slow roll and make sure that you're feeling comfortable in your own skin, because it's a completely different game when you have money on the line, let alone if it is your means of income. You have to be very, yeah, exactly. You have to be very careful with what you're doing here. I've been blessed to be able to do this for so long and been as successful as I've been. That's not the norm. And it's a very difficult business to be in. So be patient with it and stick to your rules, and make sure that you hit the like and subscribe.
Exactly. So I'm a bit concerned with this break on Apple, by the way, because Apple's reversing this move, and you haven't really pressed higher on the futures. So I'm going to relieve some pressure if it breaks 174. And I'll show you. There was a seller up there at 174.30, I mean, and then it just couldn't seem to press through. Now, I joined the party. I offered up there as well. So you're not seeing a lot of press, and if that's not going to happen, then I do not want to hold it all through 174 even. The one thing I want to add to that is, one of the biggest things I found, and you can talk about any sort of thing like where risk is on the line. So I use a poker analogy as well, and that is like the best in the world at most things practice like they play, and that's the sort of thing. Like the way you trade in sim or the way you trade in real, there it is. It's breaking on Apple, so I'm going to trim some down in there. gimme always gets. So I'm just going to trim some, and I'm going to take it all out. I want to give it a chance maybe to press down into the second level there as well.
What happened?
But it is starting to be weak and starting to come back in. So it's a pretty weak move there on Apple, that breakout. There was a lot of, it's weird, like so many people must have been punching that long because the offers just kept stacking up there at like 27, 28, 29 over and over again. And now you're pressing back into that previous support. So I'm really holding on to a quarter. And if I decide to add, it has to be backing off the previous support level. But just to finish the thought, what I love about the professional poker players, or sort of anyone that's great, you'd hear Kobe say this, you hear Michael Jordan say this. It's practice like you play. There is 0 point trading in simulation if when you go live, you can't do it the same way. So do not do something if it's not scalable. Don't do it if you can't trade it the same way on 100 shares as you would 1,000 shares. If you put on more shares and it's like, oh my goodness, I have to now trade it differently, then something is wrong in that particular case. You should be trying to follow strict rules base. Like to me, regardless of what I have, I'm going to take some out when that fails the break. And if I reload, there's only one spot to do it. I'm going to try to get some short in a couple of names here in a quick second, though, because this is rugging Apple, and this is the only support level in here. This is why I'm now only holding that quarter. It just felt bad. I was waiting to be able to tell you guys that. I might add to my affirm, but this rug pulls. Nvidia looks pretty decent here. Tesla beneath 170 looks pretty decent, and I think we are going to get that rug pull. I missed out on Carvana. That's okay. I do feel like there's a chance to be able to get into a few names. We're still at that high on the NASDAQ. I don't want to get off the Apple because if it bounces here, I want to try to make a scalp trade. But we're now consolidating and starting to pull down. And Apple is a market leader. If Apple fails to break like it just did there, then quite frankly, it gets to VWAP, I should say. That's the kind of thing that can rip us all the way back into at the close. Nvidia probably has to fall too because it's way too big of a name these days. It has been dragging the market up, and so does Microsoft. Actually, Microsoft has been pretty strong as well. So I'm going to give Apple one chance to bounce off this 70 area. If it can't do it, there's no adding back in for me. Randy, no?
Oh, you come over here quickly. Yeah, Neil, you mentioned, I didn't even realize what you're talking about with that Apple trade. Like when you said it came back, I thought it was maybe breaking higher.
No, they were stacking the offers in front of 30s there.
And that's the other thing, right? Like when you're looking at that, I just did that little rant about making sure how you trade in simulation versus all that. But the reason why I didn't notice that, we got out at 20s there. So when it was doing that, it did break higher. Obviously, Neil got that long. But we got out right there. Look at this retrace right back in. Let's try our hand on Apple one more time and go over to Randy.
There's another one moving around here, guys. A little healthcare stock, IBRX on the NQ Immunity Bio, having a great day, up just about 38.5% towards the close.
Listen to this guy. What?
What's going on here?
What is going on with Randy? We cannot.
Small cap rippers he's giving us?
Honestly, we cannot teach Randy how to trade.
Bye-bye, Brendan.
Because then it's bye-bye our jobs.
Yeah,
like it's already Brendan's job's already at risk right now.
What is he using to find these, by the way?
Yeah, Randy, it's been really nice knowing you, but let's find him some more work because honestly, like next thing you know, the guys he already switches.
Yeah, Randy can actually do the switching if you guys don't know that.
He was switching earlier today or whatever, and then now he's freaking taking Brendan's job.
It's really not a joke when we tell you guys he does everything around here.
Who is this guy?
He builds. He's built most of the set.
Randy Bohandy.
He fixes
PCs.
that's
the thing.
He does a little bit of everything, man. It's impressive.
Brings us coffees.
He brings coffee.
I like that. He brought that one up right now to
Apple
us.
fritters. I mean, I don't know. What the hell, Tesla?
We love Randy.
Huh?
We love Randy.
Anyways, yeah. So Tesla, by the way.
Yes.
So Apple goes that way, which was down. Tesla goes this way, which is up. So Tesla with the breakout. Oh man, I should have taken this break. So when I put the Apple break on, I canceled my stop break on Tesla because I wouldn't do two of those things at the same time. But Apple looks like it's going to not hold here, that support level, while Tesla is screaming to the upside. So it couldn't break down at 170, which it looked like it might. I still think there's a chance Nvidia could. Nvidia is back underneath 287, so that's an opportunity that could happen. Tesla doesn't have any levels here. It's just 70. If it's above 70, I don't really like the short, unless I guess we get to 171. Like, you're so far away from anything significant on Tesla. Now that I look here, maybe 172 makes some sense. Oh my goodness, it's going to be difficult not to want to take a shot over there on Nvidia. Here's Nvidia. It's starting to pull back off 87. If the market dumps from here, I don't want to have missed this. That breakout failed at 87.5. Apple's out. Now I want to focus on something else. That's the thing in that rug pull. If a break doesn't work right away, Usually minimum, I'm trying to take half out. In that case, I actually took it all out except for a quarter, which is a little more aggressive because the market's at the high of the day, 2.25%.
What?
Like, it's difficult. You're long off the top there. Those are always going to be pretty tricky. All right, I'm kind of talking myself into this. I'm just gonna try and get like a wet my beacon here on Nvidia. I can't look at this 87 level after it's trending down, rejecting the 87 break and what I saw in Apple, and not get in here. So I'm into Nvidia. I'm basically holding on to
Why is Jordan?
firm
What's up, Jordan?
for dear life there. What? Huh? Microsoft bad news? No,
Yeah,
really?
he's saying that there's bad news between AMD
you
and
see anything?
Microsoft. Unfortunately,
I don't see.
Bo Bandy has left us here, so I don't.
I'm gonna look.
We
I'm looking.
have like the Bloomberg terminal up there. It's an Icon terminal, so it's very, very similar, and that's what normally Brendan would read the news from. I just have sort
you
of
see anything?
Twitter here, and I don't see anything. So I don't. I'm not. I mean, you could put it in the chat if you have it, and then Bears versus
If you got a
Bulls-
link, let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you won't be able to put the link in there, but maybe Bears versus Bulls can find it or something. Or
Oh,
if
that's
anybody
right.
has
They can't
anything.
put links.
Yeah, so anyways, okay, maybe it's nothing, so we can move off of it for now. But okay, so we tried Apple Reload. Nope. So there it is right there, long at 78, out at 68. So 10 cents worth of a hit right there on Apple, and we get the hell out of the way on that one. But AMD is falling down a little bit here, but the whole market is really, the market just took the 50 period. I don't think there's anything,
Yeah,
Jordan.
I don't see
I think
anything.
we would have saw that if there was like a significant, not that you're not saying the truth, but I feel like there would have been more of a move on any of these names if that was the case. We saw it move yesterday on the release of that news. So I'm going to go over here to Microsoft and see. I don't really, again, other than the market pulling back, I'm not really seeing any pause for concern on any of these names yet for myself. But
But we are starting to fall.
oh, we are. And I mean, and AMD is giving it back. So it's fine. Like I said, man, we turned positive. We're happy today. It was, wow. Like, I even wrote to my wife, Marissa. I was like, yo, I cannot figure out how to make money. You know, she'll be happy to hear about this. And man, those any plans for? Are you just going to go home tonight, or what do you got going on?
So my wife has a girls outing away for the weekend.
Oh, away for the weekend.
So this is probably my favorite weekends are daddy-daughter weekends. My parents are coming by tonight because we like to have them over for dinner at least once a month. So
Yep.
they're going to be over, and then all weekend, myself and my daughter. There's a birthday party that we're going to at some those jump
of course I do.
trampoline parks.
Yep.
So our neighbors having their daughter's
Sky
turning
Zone,
4.
is it called?
I forget the name of this
It's
one.
called
but
Sky Zone, trust me.
Yeah, whatever it's called. I actually don't know, but it
It's called
probably
Sky
is.
Zone, yeah.
So we're going to that on Sunday. But Saturday, she wants to do a couple of experiments. Like, there's a robot thing that my brother bought for her birthday, and she wants to take it apart and turn
Yep.
it into something else. So we'll be doing that at some point. So it
Nice.
should be a fun weekend. And then obviously,
Oops.
at some point, I'll try to make sure that I watch the Leafs and get back into the series,
Yeah.
if at all if at all.
The best part is
possible.
my daughter watches the Leafs, so that's the best
Aaron
part.
won't watch hockey. She's not into hockey or basketball. I've done football, soccer,
Yeah.
baseball, track and field. She'll watch all of it. Hockey, I put it on. She's like, meh, so far. And basketball, same thing. She seems to not really care.
Oh, man.
Which
That's too
most
bad.
kids like watching the Raptors. It's weird.
I thought most kids would have not liked watching baseball, but that's great that she does, man.
Well,
Yeah.
she didn't have.
Yeah, she doesn't have
She
much
was
of a
going to
choice, yeah.
games when she was a newborn.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That's good. Well, that's what it's about, man. Nature versus nurture.
Jose, I have not. So,
Yep.
actually, Jose, have I built that Star Wars Lego set? I made a promise to my brother who lives in Halifax when I bought the Super Star Destroyer that, like, him and his son, we would build it together. So I'm only able to do that when he's here. So last time he was here, we started it, we took it apart, we got it apart, and I'm about a quarter way through. And I can't do anything more till at least his son comes to visit in the summer, because that's the promise I made. I have to look at this damn thing every single day, just wanting to get into it and finish it, so I can show you guys. Anyways, during COVID, I bought like the Super Star Destroyer.
Yo,
It's like this big.
Oh, it's huge.
And from some guy who was collecting, because he was selling his collection, I took it apart and I want to rebuild it. I've wanted it forever. My wife didn't like how much money was spent on it, but what are you gonna do? It wasn't cheap.
Yeah, that's why, I just let my wife spend all my money, and I don't question it. Okay, so right now, I just want to tell you guys, little undercover play here, man. Intel, the number 2 name now for us here today. Look at this. Short, bang. I mean, it's funny that the 2 number 1 names, Apple and Intel, both were made most of the money on the short there. So that's, only money on the short for Intel here today. So there it is, man. We just short, like this is part of how we made all of our money back. It's called patience. And I mean, honestly, This ripped up there. We were waiting for Intel. We actually, our first in, not that great, but all these other ones perfectly off the 50 period, let it settle down, take that bottom, then it comes right back to high of the day, and then we put on shares, man. I told you we were going to do it, and we did it. So that, to me anyways, that was a great trade there to end, hopefully to end the day on Intel. And we just got the majority of them out at 10s and 8s right there again as we look at this, 8s, 10s, all coming through. So yeah, that was a good one there to end. I don't know if it's going to end the day on that, but hopefully it does. AMD. All right, we didn't get any out on the dip there. It didn't come close to this level yet. That's the 50 period. I actually want to buy some more AMD. It's only 324, man. I mean, we still have 25 minutes until the imbalances come out, so I'm not even worried about them right now. So let's just move on to something else and talk about Meta. Meta's moving around. Randy's brought in some low cap names for us that have been moving around great as well. Meta's bouncing off the top, so I just kind of want to look at the 50 period or the 5 minute here instead of the one. So just again, the 200 period, it doesn't work all the time. I mean, there's no technical thing that will work all the time. And we're going to have Brian Shannon on the show in 20 days on May 24th. He's going to be coming through 19 days, and he just made that book. He's one of the, the big sort of stars of CMT with 2 books out, and he's going to be coming on the show. He was just on the Compound the other day with Josh Brown, and he's going to come on our show and talk about anchored VWAP and all that kind of stuff. So this is VWAP here, the blue line. Again, you're looking at some of these lines. Holds there, breaks there and goes down, holds VWAP. Then obviously you get the move down this morning, and then once it breaks, holds VWAP again and breaks and goes higher. But I wanted to look at this 200 period because this is really, I'm using this for trends and stuff like that. So right now, Meta, until we break it, I feel like it's going to be a short. And we almost broke it right there at 234. So if we zoom back in a little bit here, just to give you guys 234.50 right there. So that came into play. That should have been shorted. I mean, whether or not you were able to get that top tick at 30 or not, that would have been a great trade. And that's giving you some oomph to the downside there on Meta.
We got to do something for a second
let's do
here.
it, man.
I got to hit this.
Congratulations!
So shout out to Bears versus Bulls.
Yes.
Your son Dawson, he just finished his bachelor's in computer science at age 20. So you're a proud dad, and we're all proud of you. We're proud of you just because you're fantastic at your job and a valuable member of our community. We couldn't do what we do without you. So shout out to you for that. But that's amazing. Like that's all you can ask for right there. So I wish him all the success in the world. Quite frankly, I hope you guys celebrate that one as it truly does deserve. That's awesome. I love hearing news like that. I can only imagine how happy you would be. Like, I'm actually just smiling thinking about it. I try not to think about my daughter becoming a teenager or growing up that much, but I'm sure you're just absolutely beaming right now. So that's awesome. You know that experience because you have Baxter already. So when they get to that age where it's like, obviously, like, at some point they're not kids anymore.
Yep.
And it's like that's one of those big stages at graduation. That's pretty cool.
Or when they get braces, like my daughter did.
Some of these milestones.
You just gotta have another one, man. Your daughter's getting too old.
You're happy and you're happy and sad at the same time. I think.
Yeah. I mean, age is a thing, and honestly, man, I mean, shout out to Dad Life, everybody out there. For me, it means everything. So, okay, that's why I do this. So, all right, just looking around. I mean, maybe we're going to close PacWest now. It's bouncing off 6. I mean, we just made another bounce off 575. The reason why I'm sort of not stuck, but why I want to be stuck in this and want to hold this is just like it's made this push to $6 and rejected every time, but then it's also bouncing off the bottoms here as well. Sure, we went to 560, but what are we going to do at 6? So we could get out and then reassess this once it breaks 6 and then maybe get long on a 620 break. So I'm kind of thinking that we could have a dip down here. I'm going to put an offer to get out at 560, so I just don't want to hold it all the way back down. We're already long at 520. If it breaks, it breaks, and then that's it. So we're going to have to pay attention to a PacWest here at $6. I'm going to put a stop right now at 560. So my stop right now was at 520 where we're long, but I don't, if we break that very bottom of 60, let's just get out. It's bounced off $6 too many times, but hey, we're here to trade. So if we're here to trade, I feel like this is one that we could hold breaking back down up through $6. It's not that far away. It's not really doing a whole heck of a lot of volume, so I'm not expecting that to really do anything, but hopefully we can hold out on 560 there and not break that, and then hopefully I can look back and talk about a $6 break. AMD's coming in a little bit, but I need this to come down here to 60 before we even get long. I'm going to try a long down into there and give it about 10 or 15 cents if that does fill out for us. Intel has been, honestly,
Awesome.
wow. Like, we really traded Intel pretty well today, and it's just came back down to 0.2. So this has really been the life of the party for me today. I'm still looking for some more trades to make for you, but it's quiet right now. It's coming up to 3:30. We'll get that market on close order or imbalance number for you. And this is what I mean by quiet. Sure, the market's not that quiet. If you're logging in right now, you're probably like, the market's crazy. And you're right. It's been amazing.
But it hasn't really been.
Yeah, but it hasn't done much, right?
We hit the high, and now we're going sideways.
Yeah, in the last hour and a half, you're kind of in the same spot here again. So, yeah, we're going to watch
could be
out.
turning, though.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know, what am I? I'm more net short. Well,
I'm out of longs into shorts.
I'm long AMD and short Intel. So for me, it's like two peas in a pod here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you've been in short Intel all day, like, to me, it's like, what did I like recently? And I got out of all my longs. And now, like, once we got through that 13.3 area, like that last push, and then you got that push back into last week's high, like the May 1st high. You know, once you got there, okay, well, I'm starting to think, okay, reverse off of that high. At least pull back and retest that 13.3, which is why I'm sitting in shorts now. I got Nvidia on that curl. I'm sitting in a firm right now. Like, those are just the two that I like because they both set up at the key areas. Tesla, maybe 170. We were just talking about Tesla. That was the last long I had. It did this like last ditch break above 170 to 170.50, wicked up and now consolidation lower. If this gets back under 70, it kind of does set up, but it's just pretty strong at this point. And if you make another run at that high, I mean, Tesla's prone to go $1 or $2. We should have the early look in any second now.
I can find it.
Yeah, no, I have it up. It's just because I don't know if we're going to get it from Randy, but we'll get it from Financial Juice when they do report it in a few minutes here. Usually they have it in a few seconds, and I have my tweet deck up. Yeah, there it is. Nothing. 50 million shares to the buy side. So 50 million is essentially nothing for an imbalance. Like, we care about that when it's in, like, closer to $1 billion, 50 million. All week long, we've been getting basically nothing on the imbalance. It's another nothing burger here today, unfortunately. Randy put in the chat that Wall was moving again. Quite frankly, I'm not.
PacWest.
Okay, PacWest is also moving, but it was on this volume spike. And the first thing I thought of was, like, how did Randy even know that? Like, is he in P Pro 8 over there? Like, is he using the icon? Because he's not at Brennan Station. So how did he manage to know that volume spike just happened? Let me know how you're doing it, Randy, because both those names are actually bouncing
Well, he's
a little
following
bit.
guys on Twitter and stuff.
Is that all he was doing?
Yeah, he's reading news over there. He's really, really busy.
He is right down, like, into this.
What's up, Andrew
searching.
Harris and Ponzi Fonzie?
Killing.
They want some shout-outs right there, so we'll go give some shout-outs to you guys. It goes a bang, bang, bangs. Like, what's up with you two, man? Andrew Harris and Ponzi Fonzie? Are you guys friends? Or put it in the chat. I want to know more about what's going on with you guys there as well. So shout out to all y'all one more time. I'm just going to get out of Intel right now and just watch these longs. Intel's been a dream today. Like we said, man, let's just get out. We just got an 0.2. I just put a bid at 0.7. If we get it, we get it. If not, that's fine. There we go. Let's just try to hold our longs. AMD bouncing. I'm just going to cancel my bid is still a little lower on this. I don't know if we're going to get it. I'm going to cancel that as well and just try to watch out for this name. As we've returned to Greensville, man. So, wow, what a day, what a day, what a day. And Greg's been messaging me, and he's just like, there's so much going on in the morning that, you know, sometimes it's tough. We write the sticky note, we try to respect some of those levels, and I get a little bit carried away anyways in the morning. So I feel like that's great advice there. Thanks for that, Greg, because we've really done really well the last couple of days just sitting there and taking that cash out of the market once it slows down a little bit. And it's not, I just think it's bad luck. Like, that Microsoft started ripping up, so, you know, no real difference. Maybe on Monday, you know, we could put these on early and we'd be able to see the market a little bit better. But we'll still do what we're doing, man. Hey, every day that's a green day is fine by me. I mean, obviously you don't want to have your green days less than your red days.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what we are looking for.
Oh, this is for you, Darwin.
Good.
Hola.
Why
like
did
and
it-
subscribe today.
I don't know why that got hidden. Basically, Darwin put in the chat, hola, like and subscribe. Why isn't he allowed to put that in the chat? It actually blocked him. Like, YouTube blocked
did
that.
it?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You're allowed to say that. Maybe you're not allowed to promote the like and subscribe if you're just a viewer. I have no idea. But yeah, we'll hit that all day for you guys. Yeah, we don't really ask for anything. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, enjoy the show. These Bulls, they've been doing a good job today. I do feel like we're going to get that push to the upside. We have gotten that push to the upside. And quite frankly, if you look what happened, I want to go to the Qs for a second, if I can. On the NASDAQ, I don't know if I can pull this one back far enough. Yeah, it's not going to go back far enough. I'm just going to go to the triple Q on the daily. Because what's been going on the triple Qs, if this is really a push through this level on the Q, on the NASDAQ, like forget about it. Apple presented well. Like who had bad earnings out of the big tech group, really? So earnings have more or less been good, at least been received pretty well. If we get through this, you've got all kinds of upside on a bit of a press. And one of the things you keep hearing over and over and over again is how bearish people are just overall in the economy. And I don't disagree with it. Like there's a lot of reasons to be bearish right now. But the more people that think that, the more likely it becomes that you can see a last-ditch press breaking out here before any kind of a turn back. And really, like, think of where the next levels are here. Like, you've got plenty of room to rally. Like, on the Qs, you got another $15 before you get into anything. Lots of room to be able to go from here. So just because it looks bad doesn't mean it is bad. There's always room to run. I love this level, but the reason why I think we're struggling to break that top, it is a pretty large wall that we're seeing on the NASDAQ. Maybe we break it today. It'd be fantastic if we did. Obviously, you know that I'm sort of sitting in shorts off of these highs. And yeah, someone just said, oh my God, finally, Palantir, 10 cents. I haven't looked at Palantir, so I actually don't know where it is or what it's doing. I'm going to make the assumption, what in the hell is going on with Palantir? So you know what? We say barcoding a lot, but like that's really barcoding. Whatever is happening here at 749, not 750, 749, that's legit. You know, as a day trader, most of the times what you're looking for is like you just sit short 49 with a 50 stop and just play for the VWAP or trace. Like that is, why wouldn't you? I know they report on Monday, but still, like, I don't care if they report like after the bell. Like, why is it doing this? There's obviously a big seller here, a wall of refreshing at 49 and 50. I believe Brennan is back, so I got to throw to him instead of Randy.
He's still here. I mean, he's over there. Minim, guys, speaking of reporting earnings next week, this one actually reporting on Tuesday, I just saw. Throwing in the towel here, it would appear. Some profit taking into the close for MINM.
Minimum. So Nvidia started to roll back a little bit here. I am still waiting for the bottom of the channel. I'm not really looking to take, look, if I'm going to risk above 87, then taking 15 cents doesn't make a lot of sense. That's the thing. If you break the risk to reward rules, then when you win, great, but when you lose, you're actually going to end up losing too much relative to the size of your wins, and then suddenly you're not going to be positive. So I like to hold to the risk to reward rules, and if I'm giving it just above 87, which I am, that's going to be over 30 cents. So I need to start breaking down that much in the money to be worth this trade. So I'm still sitting in it. It's the same thing over there with a firm. Is Fubo making a breakout there? We'll see. 150, no, it's not. Fubo needs to go, but that looks exactly like Palantir, man. Like, you know, you're getting a wall at 150. It's not moving. When the futures are at a level like this and so many things are trying to punch through and not punching through, it's hard not to want to be jumping into things to the short side because everyone's waiting for a shoe to drop or something to break, and nothing is breaking up right now. Like, I just see like wall after wall on every stock that I look at holding at those highs. So Tesla's no different. Netflix is a dog. You're absolutely right about that. Probably not as bad. I just keep seeing names get thrown in there. Yeah, Netflix is weak. Not as bad as Square is today, but if you're not at the high of the day, then you're not having a very good day when everything is looking strong. Speaking of Square, I just want to check back in on it. I didn't short it. It didn't break the low, obviously. It's actually bouncing a little bit here. Yeah, not really moving a lot, but if it gets to VWAP, that would be pretty interesting for a rollover trade. But we're now at 337, so I'll just sit with these two. Nvidia, as I said, it rolling 10 cents in the money doesn't really mean much at this point. It's got to go more than that to make any sense. I'm sitting in it for the actual fail off this high of the day.
Yeah, I had to go get a coffee. I don't know if I'm going to survive today.
Afternoon coffee.
Yeah,
Randy
you want one there, Bo Band? Randy now the busy one around here, though. But
Did you just fix a camera or something?
I don't know. No, Randy's doing his own thing here. I don't know. Neil used to rap and have a little, karaoke rap session here every Friday.
Good job, man.
And
you're
out of here?
You're out of here? All right, safe
Have
drive.
a safe trip home.
Yeah.
Have some tequila today. Perfect. I like it.
Oh, that's
All
right, tequila.
Thank you, Randy, man.
We should have had tequila today.
Man, all I've been talking about is Cinco de Mayo. Oh, Marissa was disappointed in you yesterday.
I forgot about that.
And I'll tell you
I forgot
why.
about that tequila. What the hell did I do?
I'll tell you right now.
I don't know.
Yesterday was May 4th, man.
Yeah.
You had one reference.
What are you
yesterday.
talking about?
For May the 4th be with you. You said it early, and we didn't have any else. We didn't.
I tweeted in the morning.
Yeah.
I said it twice in the open. Well, I didn't want to overdo it or anything.
Yeah, so I was just thinking like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. We forgot. I feel like we didn't have any references at the end of the day.
You know what the problem was?
We didn't do anything.
I was wearing blue for the Leafs. I was gonna wear something that was like Star Wars related, but then it's like, I know, but it was like, it's the Leafs and whatever. The next time the Leafs play, I'm not wearing blue because, quite frankly, it actually has not worked. Every single time so far in this playoffs that I've worn blue when the Leafs play, they've actually lost.
See?
So now that I think about that, I am not wearing blue. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna try not to wear blue because I'll forget. So
Right.
I will try not to wear blue when the Leafs play the next time during the week.
Sunday, right, and then the next week
Yeah,
after that is
it should be like Tuesday or
I think
Wednesday. So
yeah, it's
making
funny
a
because
mental
the
note.
Miami Heat there, but 700 likes. I mean,
That's ridiculous.
that's ridiculous. I don't have my thing anymore, but
I have-
whatever one you want to hit, I just feel like 700 likes. You got to get that like button.
Take
going.
this opportunity to
Right,
like and
exactly.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. There's lots of bangs.
Yeah, today there's been lots of bangs for sure. So if you guys can hit that like, I'm gonna check back on this in a minute. We have 4,000 watching. If we can get more than 700 likes, I feel like. I mean, has the content not been good? Have the winners? I mean, if you just followed some of the trades that I put on here today, it's been a winning bonanza. So please hit like, please hit subscribe, and just show us, show not us. We know that we have a great community. I mean, that's the number one thing about this place is how great everybody is. But hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure that you're joining us every single day live. As as I've said before, man, we're interviewing new people. We're trying to get some new flavor in here for everybody, and we are going to do that. So make sure you join us every single day and check out what's been popping off. As we're excited to have, of course, Sharif back in the building here come Monday, as he's picking up his
With
new
new
ride.
wheels.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk about that. I don't know anything, Momo, about, I mean, I know about Moderna, but I haven't really been watching it, and I feel like it's a little silly there. Yo, what's up? I feel like it's been a little bit silly watching out for different names here, but Moderna continues to make a move right in, right now.
Well, I respect that from Momo. Moderna is the stock he trades.
Right, exactly. Or Ford.
Oh yeah, Ford too.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth
Ford.
there. There we go. My wife is here, so that's great. We're getting ready to go to
Bring the tequila.
yeah, we're going to Taco. It's like a media thing for Taco Fest. So I'll be there representing
it on down
TTVL,
to
and
Taco Fest.
should be a really fun time there tonight as well. So yeah, look, we're getting ready to rock and roll here into the close. It's 341 right now. The imbalances, we already got those already. It's 33 million to buy.
They get smaller.
So it's. What was it when you said
it was
before?
50 million before.
50 million before.
Literally got smaller.
Marissa, you can go sit with Brendan if you want at the desk there. And Randy was just giving the news. So maybe he's gone. Now, I don't know if you saw Randy or
gone.
not. No, you missed him. Okay. She missed Randy.
He must have left real fast if they didn't know
He gone right now. So, okay, Apple 174. What other names you guys want us to look at, man?
Nvidia just broke the 50. I'm on the bid underneath it here, but I just missed. I'm just going to move my bid by a teensy little bit here and try and get out when next time it breaks that 50 level. It needs to get down to 86, I think, to be like a home run. Firm's not really doing anything, so I'm still sitting off that high. Every time it dips, I'm in the middle of the range here with the short at the 70 level. I'm just looking for the retrace. It can't seem to take the high, so if the market rolls over, this is one I liked on the higher time frame. Just in the two names right now. We'll see where they go. Lyft. I mean, Lyft had a Lyft actually bounced. Lyft was like the worst stock when I sat down this morning. Obviously, I mean, everything else that reported was pretty good. I think everything reported that was realistically, everything was gapped up that I was looking at that reported, except for these guys. But a little bit of a bouncing context, not that much. The problem with them is that the comparison between Uber and Lyft just keeps getting worse in Lyft. Well, better in Uber's favor and worse for Lyft. It's just going to be, they have to be so perfect. Now they're talking price wars again. Like, if you're trying to battle for market share when you're already bleeding money and Uber's got like multiple sources of revenue other than just the ride sharing, that's a battle that's going to be difficult for them to win. I know the new CEO said some decent things on the call, but sometimes he's going to say what he has to say. It hasn't been good for them. They're actually rolling back over here. Archon, thank you for the super chat. Coin, please. So confusing. Thank you, fellas. So Coin, for me, I just sort of stopped trading it when it stopped making sense. So I liked the short on Coin at 56. I shorted it until it stopped working, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either, so I'm not going to trade it. I felt like it was too far on Coinbase, but really the short was valid when it was at, let me zoom out on my 15. There we go. The short to me was valid when it was at these levels, and if it broke 56, I said I'm not going to try again till 60. So at least I was able to stay disciplined there. I almost wish it had gone to $60, man. And then we could have been, like that's the big level on Coinbase for the short. I just never really pressed into it. Obviously, my last out in the short, these would have been fantastic longs. That's great if you have a long bias, but I was looking for short 56 all day long. I was never going to make money on this stock long because I was waiting for that 56 to pop in. So yeah, you're not forced to trade it, man. If it doesn't make any sense, step away. Sometimes Bitcoin can also be a strong push that carries this to the upside. And last I checked, they were holding out. It's holding out above 29.4. So you're getting a bit of a bounce as well in Bitcoin and Ether, which is probably dragging this to the upside.
Okay, so I just want to say what's up to Robert right here, because this is really why, I mean, and I was just saying this in a chat to us. It's like, first of all, thank you. You guys are so fun to watch. The banter is great and all the trading is awesome, right? And it's just a matter of, I think it's very, thank you so much for the super chat to Newman MTG as well. Shout out to you. Thanks for the $10 super chat. We'll definitely, Newman, on that one. We'll definitely be doing that. You also traded Zim earnings, says Momo as well. Do you guys have futures traders? Not really. Arun will come in and give his back and forth once a day there. I'd love to have, some more on that, so we could talk about it more and more, but thank you so much for everything right now. So, good day today, and again, thank you to everybody for the support. It's been a pretty wild week. I mean, that's probably why a little exhausted. I'm sure a lot of you are as well, as you sit down here and think about what's happened this week. All the earnings that we had come through. We sort of sifted through Meta and Microsoft and then AMD yesterday. What a wild day that was absolutely crushed down to $81. And then all of a sudden you blink and it's up to $91.50 on that news from AMD and Microsoft kind of joining there at the hip. So that was kind of like a fun little thing there that went down yesterday. And then you digest the Apple earnings, plus we have Fed came through as well. Today, another jobs number. I mean, just an absolutely wild day. Oh, I see. There's Marissa. She's over my corner right there. There she is, if you can see her. Right.
Why would you
the deuces.
You're sitting there so you can be on camera.
Throwing up the deuces right there. So I don't know if she, whatever. Told her to go sit with Brendan, but that's okay. Sit there for a minute. It's 346.50 right now, and we're getting close to the numbers to come out. So let's just make sure that we're doing everything the right way here, and watch out for our position. So the only position that I'm in, and I'm making sure I don't have any orders out. See, I actually have an Intel order. We can cancel that. Where did I get out of? I must have got out of Intel, right? Where did Intel go to? Oh, okay, yeah, we did get out of Intel. Intel filled us there at 07, so now we're out. The only position we have left is AMD and PacW. The PacW hasn't done anything, so if this breaks 60, we're gone. After that, nothing else. AMD right here, 89.80 coming into play. Breaks it, we're going to get out. Look at this 50, look at this 200 period. Just keeps on making its way back up to the upside. 89.75 right there coming into play. So we could watch out for that as well. But yeah, that's where my stop's going to be, 89.75 for AMD. Honestly, it's going to break that. What happens at 350 is goes back and forth there. So wouldn't be surprised at all if it does wind up breaking that. That is AMD.
Yeah, and it might break the high here on a firm. It looks like it will 18% to the upside. This stock is. It's on one. It's at the 50 on the daily. If it's there on Monday, My guess is it probably like gaps this in some direction or the other. I can't see it opening at that same price. I kind of hope it does, but I short in front of it because it was a big level on the daily. Usually better when you get that kind of a play earlier on in the session, so it can maybe do an over-under, but there's only 10 minutes left. My stop's just above the 80 level. My stop on Nvidia, I've tightened it up a little bit here just because we're almost out of time. And thank you so much. We just got another super chat. Lilia Nene, thank you very much for the super chat. Just a heart. We love you back, and we love the entire community. I know you've been a regular the last little bit there. And Matt Carnes asked me about Pinterest, and in the chat I had nothing good to say about that stock. I didn't realize that there's a few names out there. We keep talking about the strength in the overall market. There's a few names out there. I mean, Pinterest is actually off the lows today, but my goodness, I had forgotten how bad this got. In the last couple of weeks here on PIN since its earnings. I suppose it could hold $20, but yeah, this sucks because this is one of those. I did really well on this in the pandemic. My entire logic was my wife was using Pinterest a ton, and at the time I was like, well, look where you can get this stock, and everything you bought made money back then. But yeah, this one got rugged, and I still actually think I have like a piece of that I don't know. You shouldn't just hold things forever because it's a small amount. But we all do it, so I kind of did that with pins. I'm pretty sure I have some of this left still, and it sucks. That company, yuck. And especially with the quarter Meta had, ugh. Like the comps, when you're getting comp to Meta and Meta's beasting, I'm going to get out. We just talked about the tighter stop in Nvidia. 10 seconds to go to the imbalances. It's probably going to run the stops on these highs when the imbalances come out.
I say that's probably a good look.
It's usually what happens.
That's what we're going to do right now with only 10 seconds left. We do have AMD stop, but AMD just ripped up, so we could take another 20 cents on this. But let's just see. Maybe the imbalances will be with us today on Cinco de Mayo. All right, there it goes. AMD, yep, goes the other way. Downside on that print. So
I don't see anything.
NASDAQ's not there yet, I don't think. I mean, is this ALC?
There's Apple.
There it is. There it goes. There's Amazon sell, Google sell, Apple sell, everything. Google sell again down there. Microsoft sell. Let's just go over to Apple. Look at that. Tick, 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 boom. To the downside goes Apple right now. Let's just check out Amazon. Not so much action on Amazon. Google, the one that I like right there, just ticks down about 40, down to 40. So that's about 20 cents on the downside there. Here's Brendan's favorite name.
Dada.
Excuse me, Dada chugged that coffee. I still have, well, not chugged it.
You know what? I never see Nvidia on the imbalance locator. It's weird.
Yeah, why did AMD? AMD must have just gone down in sort of sympathy with everything else right there. Mock imbalance there. Did we get that total number? Hold on a second. I got to go back over to it. Brendan, no, we don't have it yet.
No.
600 million. Someone put there in the chat.
It's 600 million to sell.
Yeah, my wife is distracting.
So sell side,
my
and
wife's
it's not
distracting
even...
Brendan right now.
So. Oh, that's what's happening.
I think it's 600 million. Yeah, someone put that in the chat, so thank you so much for that. Dan Emmons always has that number. But,
yeah, it's just because Financial Juice, like they got it, they'll tweet it out there.
Yep.
We're not affiliated. They just give you their early look, and they give you their, when they get the upte, like it's,
Nvidia,
they total it up there. It's 4% on the day.
I mean, I know you've been looking at that. I kind of
misnoted
that.
Nvidia 278.50 was the other level at the open that I missed the breakout trade. Come to my chart for a second. I did miss this breakout on Nvidia, and the logic was almost perfect. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it was all about the news yesterday because Nvidia was churning for a double top break, and then right at the end of the day, not the end of the day, right in the middle of the day, there was that AMD Microsoft news, which is the entire reason why Nvidia flushed and didn't make the double. It was primed. It was going to go. Like I actually wanted the breakout at that point. Like I was sitting there. It was after lunch, late day rally on Nvidia. It's made a good rally, and then today you had a chance for that double top breakout. At that moment, I was shorting Coinbase. I was trading Wall, everything except for focused on the right name, and then it was a huge runner. I didn't do anything until shorting 85, which was good, and then the long at 87, which is solid. Now I'm short off 87, and that's not really doing anything. I got one little scalp trade out, and now it's not making any kind of a move. Bit of a nothing burger and a disappointment here for me on Nvidia for a lot of reasons. It's just, like there were two really clean breakouts that ended up being absolute monsters that I didn't get this morning. So we'll see there. Matt Carnes, 1K. We had 1.5, baby. That's what we like to see. 1.5K likes is what we always try to go for.
We got it?
We got one. We're over one, and we still have 10 minutes to go.
Okay, we're getting close.
We set the standard.
We're heating up.
We're heating up. He's on fire.
He's on fire.
I love NBA Jam, man. that's if
He's on
you
fire.
get a man cave, you got to have like the arcade games out there that you grew up on.
Yeah,
my
the
barbershop,
original.
Wisdom Barbershop here in Toronto. Actually, it's more Etobicoke than anything else, technically speaking.
Is it?
Wisdom?
Etobicoke?
Yeah,
That's your barbershop,
It's
Wisdom?
more. Well, no, it's where my dad would take us.
Oh,
and
okay. That's not where you go now.
No. Now I go
okay,
somewhere
that's-
local.
okay,
It's a good friend. It's a good friend. I've been going for years. But my dad would always take us, like every third Saturday, and was just like we do that. We go for drives, and then it was super cool. And all they did is talk, like West Indians at the barbershop.
Yeah, I
all
know.
they do is talk trash. It's like I
And
never
play loud music.
play good music, and there was a Pac-Man machine there.
Yes.
And so I would just sit there. My brother and I would
As
play
kids, yeah,
Pac-Man as
exactly.
kids,
Smart.
and it was like that was the jam.
Distract the kids.
I'm not that old. It's just the place was kind of gangster, so that's the machine that they had. It's not as if when Pac-Man came out, that's how I rolled. It was just that's what they had. I love Pac-Man. It's a great game. I'm getting out of Nvidia on that 10 break. There we go. Actually, whoops, don't want to be long. So I'm out of that one. A firm hasn't broke the high, but it's probably going to any second now. The market is still holding, not really doing a heck of a lot. So you had to find opportunities to scalp trade. For me, that was Nvidia a couple times, though the last time we took it, it was a short that didn't work. The long was a good breakout, but after that, not a heck of a lot to do there. What's going on in the world of those banks? I know Wall was doing something at the end there. I was kind of curious. You're not still in Pac. You're in
I am.
PacW.
It's not.
Yeah, Wall pulled back, I guess.
Oh, we're about. Yeah, it's about. Okay, so.
I kind of thought there'd be a
I should
late
have looked
move
for the
on
imbalance.
these.
I didn't even. We're only in 10% of PacW. I mean.
Why wouldn't these move going into the weekend? You'd think like risk on, risk off, something would happen at the close on these names.
got
And
really close
really,
to getting out
they're
there.
holding trend. I had one trade on Wall this morning. I was like, let's go for the short because the short was so good. Basically tried to rinse and repeat the exact same short, and it just never happened for me. So I got that affirmed. My stop is out there. What else is going? Quadunk after 4 o'clock, says Nick Clemenzi.
Oh, we just got out.
They could.
Awesome.
Yeah, they could. I've seen that happen before. Maybe.
We just did not get quadunked, so we can cancel our AMD trade, and there it is right there. Nice out for us on AMD as it just spiked back up to 95. So we'll take that. We were pretty close to getting out anyways, man. I mean, there's the 200 period looking to break lower. We were going to get out if it broke 75 anyways. So better to get 95 than 75 when you're long. So that's a good out for me right there as we only have 5 minutes to go. And there you go. You get a little bit of a switch up. Dada has not changed, but I can't believe that this stock is only $5. I thought I remember this stock a lot higher than that. Let me just pull back a chart here on the daily chart. Yeah, I guess it was just $14 back at the beginning of the year. So $5, maybe not so bad. But the only reason I'm looking at it is because it's still the same way. It has not paired off. There's WAL, so there it is.
It is
sell
on the
imbalance into the close.
Well, that's why it's not. Yeah,
That makes sense. KeyBank is there. KeyCorp there as a buy into the close. And I still don't see PacWest. DraftKings, good trade today, but it's too bad because we have short written down here 25. It'll end the day sub 25 by a lot, and it sucks that we don't have it. But
that's that one that went yesterday, PRVA.
Wasn't that?
That's the
there
stock that had the offering
Right.
that rugged and then
Okay.
was up like 30% from the lows, and then there was a big buy imbalance on it. This is the one it rugged on an offering, and then there was a huge
Rugged.
buy imbalance at the close, and then it ran from 26 to 27.50. Didn't really know what was going on there and quite frankly, you don't usually see moves like that. Trended all day long, pretty violent. It's actually it was a small buy imbalance. It's not moving today, but I might look this one up. That's a flat top break at 29. This stock, I'm not sure. I don't know what it is or what it did, other than the fact that offering Huadunk maybe trapped some shorts, and now it's just setting up for the break of all breaks. It would be really nice if somehow this had a 30% short interest, because that looks hilarious. Shorts are trapped when you see that nonsense. But I have no idea what the stock is. It just showed up on the locator yesterday, and I noticed the run. $1.50 at the close for a $20 stock that I've never heard of was pretty cool.
That's funny. I love Sharif, but he's just brought us that quadunk.
I can't stop saying
Yeah, exactly. It's just every day it seems like we're saying that, and that's just come out of nowhere again. So just an update there. We got out of PacWest there at 72 as. Again, we were going to make sure it canceled. Yep, and that's pretty cool. Our stop orders canceled there because I no longer have PacWest. And it was a pretty wild ride for me early, and then it didn't do anything late. So what was a very busy moment for us on Pac turned out to be a nothing burger there as $6 held. And that's that. So we were waiting. We should have gotten some out there. I was trading this live when this happened. It was 12:30. You guys didn't see it, but we were on this. And we talked about it. Neil was asking if we had this trade when it was breaking through 6. And the thing is, we put the stop on a sub 6 on the break back down. So that's where we got out. A couple good fills there. And then we were just waiting for that 6 to break again. It never happened. So we'll take an out right here at the end of the day. No point in being in this with only 2 minutes left, because realistically, it was either going to take down the bottom or it was going to maybe get back to $6. I feel like the risk was to the sell side. And then look at this. Like, there's a lot of order interest here. It's only done 132 million shares. So looking here and seeing 35,000 and 60,000, it's not like it's a lot of shares, but it's definitely not creating this to move down anytime soon. So we'll have to wait to see what happens here with PACW into the close. My guess is nothing. We'll check out WAL. Oh, that just left us there. So let's go over to Western Alliance 27. Still up an amazing 50% today. So congratulations, anybody that was able to hold that. And where did Apple finish? Kind of where it's not where it started, but where we've been in the afternoon at a key level of 173.50. So we really traded Apple really well today, shorting then long, and the number one stock. So, you know, no surprise there on earnings that Apple takes the number one spot. But hey, there's only a minute left. I'm about to go get my taco and margarita and tequilas on there, and I hope everybody enjoys their evening no matter what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, hopefully some tequila, although I doubt. I might not do it just because it's myself and my daughter. I'm not sure I'll be able to fit in. I don't like drinking by myself. I always feel like it's not the way to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out here, and it'll be pretty much flat on a firm. It didn't really run my stop, but it didn't go either. So it's not like it did anything. I love this price level. I haven't traded a firm in a while, but when a stock like this makes a recovery back to the 50 and starts going, whether it's a breakout long on Monday or maybe it'll be like a rejection and a term will maybe play that. But it's time for the bell, everybody. So I don't know who's ringing it in 10 seconds, but in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it.
Prad almost got there. Did it break? I thought Randy, come on, Bo Bandy.
Randy does everything around here except fix the mallet, which we've asked about like 20 times. That being said, there's a tool, like there is actually like a toolbox over there. I mean, there might be glue, and I'll just do it myself. But
there for sure is glue. But you can just he could just put a screw, and then it's end of the story there.
It's not that hard to fix.
Maybe it's just a joke that keeps on happening. So okay, wow, what a day. Man, welcome to, you talked about get down to Lickerville. We made it to Greensville, so I was really happy to end our day in that spot. So far, so good. Yeah, that's funny there, they're on there. Come on, Randy, pull yourself together. That's hilarious. Okay, let's go back over to the big desk with Brennan and figure out how this day wound up.
Nothing but green, top to bottom, to show you guys as we head into the weekend on a pretty positive note here. 1.85 for the S&P when all is said and done. The Dow 1.65. Better part of 2% right across the board here for the Russell. 2.5 for the 2000, where all the regional banks are housed. Same story here for the composite. 2.25 for the NASDAQ. 2.13 there for the NASDAQ 100. Pretty impressive, even after that NFP number this morning, guys.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Non-farm payrolls. You know what? It's funny that you say that. I almost forgot that we started the day with that jobs number that was better than expected.
Yeah, we talked about how big this week was, and we talked about the jobs number today, and yeah, it just continues to be one of those weeks, and now we're done it. So we go, whoof. We have ran the gauntlet this week, and we've gone through earnings season one more time, and what a great earnings season it was. But pretty much.
Nvidia.
And Nvidia's a big one. We got Disney next week. There's more names coming, no doubt about that. But as far as running through it, I feel like we're definitely through the majority of the earnings. I mean, we could find out what percentage has reported.
It's a majority by now.
Yeah. So sure. Some big names still to come, man. I mean, Nvidia, AMD, and all that. But yeah, what a week. What a good one here. We're ready to go, man. I'm already ready for Monday. So we got a busy, crazy week, man. We got Little League starting. Baxter's going to be in town. We've got there's 5-on-5 hockey in my house. There's 3-on-3 hockey going down. I don't know. Marissa probably knows many other things. Gymnastics going through. My son's going to a Dungeons and Dragons get together.
Oh, you were talking
tonight.
About that.
He's loving that, and that's been fantastic. So you're having a weekend as well. That's a lot of fun. What's Brendan up to this weekend? That's.
No one will know.
Nope, I don't think he knows. That's why.
No,
That's
I have no idea.
Exactly. So there you go.
I have no idea.
All right. So no one, including Brendan, will know. But that's why you fly by the seat of your pants, and that's sometimes the
it's the
funnest
best way to go.
I have no plans. I have no plans.
Don't
I'll
make
say.
plans.
That's good. That's fine.
It must be nice.
I wish I had no plans. To be honest with you.
I have an idea what your calendar looks like at home if you have
you don't.
one. It's like, I know we have one that sits on the fridge. It's freaking ridiculous, and we have one kid. So I can only imagine what yours looks like if you have one.
Yeah, ours is digital. We cannot. We tried to put one on our fridge.
It would be like a scroll.
Rebecca's ridiculous. The writing's so small.
Like I just clicked on our calendar for today. I didn't even know what day it was. Just like all color, like Marissa's color coded thing. So if it's my son, it's one color, and it's just like forget about it. Looks like a freaking Christmas tree.
You have to.
Okay, guys. As we talk off camera, I want to thank everybody for joining us again here today. Thank you to the production team. What a great job. Thanks to Randy for filling in. Thanks for Max for doing all 3 hours. Right, so shout out to Max. I know he's used to doing that, but shout out to Sharif. Travel safe, and we'll see him back on Monday. Everyone behind us, thanks for the atmosphere. Thanks to Kat for ringing the bell. Did we miss Bears versus Bulls? And most importantly, thanks to everybody out there.
Yeah, congrats to your son, Dawson.
Yep, yeah, shout out to Dawson there as well. Don't fall in the creek. Only 1.1K, so we don't have any rap for you today, but hopefully we will next Friday. But all right. Let's go, man. Thank you to everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo for everybody. Happy belated. May the 4th be with everybody. And we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.